Laredo. Welcome to show number 11.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, it's been over 2 months of a podcast, and thank you all for supporting it. Thank you for putting up with some of our shenanigans. We've had over 20 guests. In fact, we're gonna start keeping track of how many guests we go through. We've had everything from artists to entertainers to PhDs. And we have some more high quality people coming your way. We don't bring just anybody onto this program. We want to bring in people that are going to show you what it is to be successful and to have that motivation to always develop and be a better person. Before we continue, I'll let the guys say their greetings for the day, and then we'll follow up with Bojo talking about what happened last week. Sound like?
Hey, good afternoon or good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good, and thank you for being with us. Welcome to another episode of the Big River Talks podcast, episode 11, like TJ said. And of course, a lot going on throughout the whole United States community and of course the world. So if there's any questions, concerns for the guests and for us, let us know. Send it through our podcast chat on YouTube. Go to YouTube /Big River Talks, and we'll go ahead and do the best to answer your concerns, your questions. And again, welcome. Thank you so much, Bojo.
Yeah, thanks, man. TJ, yep, as you mentioned, another episode. Here we go, guys. Laredo, get tuned in. If you're not, I've always said shame on you. This is podcast. It's only for you. Nobody else but you. So use this time wisely, man. And as TJ said, we have good quality guests, good quality conversations, and this is as he's mentioned in the past also, this is a mature podcast, all right? Don't get offended, and if you do, tune us out. So.
Now that you said that, hold on, let me stop you right there. So, this is the way I see it. If you get offended, that means you're not thinking. That means you're just reacting with emotions. You gotta think these things through. If I say a word, whatever it is, it's not, trust me, there's not with anybody in mind. It's just, we're having a conversation. We're having a great time.
That's it.
That's all we're doing. So, again, nobody's forcing you to stay on this. We don't want to lose you. We definitely don't want to lose you. And trust me, we're not going to say something just to say it. There's always a reason for it. But, again, if you are easily offended and you're not a thinker, you're just a reactor to emotions.
You wear your feelings on your sleeves.
Yes.
Right.
So maybe you should learn how to not be so delicate. Trust me, guys. Life is too short. Way too short. But anyway, you want to talk real quick about
Yep.
I can't remember what we did last week.
Honestly, did we do something last week? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, last week we had another fun, impacting show, and we had several guests on here. We had 5 guests, believe it or not. It was one of our longest running podcasts. We were blessed in having so many folks wanting to stop by, share their stories, tell us who you are, tell us who they are. I'm sorry, and share with the rest of our viewers. So first, we had Doc, Gilberto Doc Salinas. I want to thank him for showing up. He's also a pastor, and shared with us his story. He's also a power lifter, and I don't know that guy, but he's something else. But we do want to thank him for stopping by and sharing his testimony and story with us. We then had also Mrs. Maritza Gomez, who's an upcoming artist in Laredo. She's doing her own thing, which we kudos to her. She acted on something she wanted to do and didn't stop, and is running with her. We wish her all the best. Godspeed in your career and the great things that are coming towards you. And we want to thank you for stopping by, also sharing what you have. Brought us some real nice posters and everything for us to have. We also had a local talent as well, Mr. Roy Nava. Wow, TJ, what a performance, man. That guy,
Yeah.
He threw us everywhere, all around the room. We didn't know whether to cry or be happy. And such emotion, man.
I fell in love. I wanted to change my name to TJ Nava. That's how good it was.
Yeah, and that conversation was just from 5 minutes before we started, ladies and gentlemen.
So you all missed it.
It's not like it was last week. You still didn't hear it. But anyway, yeah, he did, live performances, acoustic, unplugged, whatever you kids want to call it nowadays. We call it having fun, and it sounded great.
Yep.
So, Mr. Roy Nava, thanks for stopping by. This is your house also. Whenever you want to decide you got any material, stop by, man. Also, then we had another visitor, guest that stopped by, Mr. Alan Garza. He's the, I don't want to say it, but he's a keeper of Lucio Santana, whose name we won't pronounce it. Anyway, no, he came out here and he's promoting the TJ, correct me, the Warrior Way Wrestling Academy.
Yes.
So, Laredo, you guys are saying, oh, it's Laredo. There's nothing to do. Well, guess what? This is coming at you. It's brainchild grown out of people, complaining, and this is somebody who wants to pursue something that they wanted to do, and it's an opportunity for your children to also pursue what they want to do, or maybe you as a teenager, or maybe you as an adult. There's no age limit, and we're talking about the wrestling academy. It's all fun. It's all fun. There's no age limits. It's only up to you. You set your own limits. You set your own parameters to this. So we welcome you. Take them up. They're gonna have a showing Monday, I believe, right, on June the 2nd.
Right.
At the location which we will put up there at was it 1506? 1506 Laredo Street. 1306, my bad. 1306 Laredo Street. Stop by. It's a local business. It's the Academy. Ring set up. Everything's good to go. There's gonna be a couple of ourselves 1 or 2 matches happening. So the trainers are gonna be there. Some of the local talent's gonna be there. And more than likely, yours truly, Big River Talks, will be out there covering the whole event. So stop by. You wanted something different, Laredo? Support. Like I said last week, even if you decide, no, it's not for me, just show up and support and let them know, you know what? We're here for Laredo. Something new's coming, we're here to support. Every other town in the world does it. I don't know why Laredo doesn't do it. And then, we had Mr. Eric from Wizard Wig, owner of Wizard Wig Pizzas, Laredo's best tasting pizza. I hope we get to try that again. No, he brought us some samples last week. It was delicious. Eric, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your talent is very well observed, sir. So, thank you for stopping by, sharing us also your testimony, your story. So we had a very, like I said, it went over the show, which is okay, but a lot of information flew through our tables and hopefully to your ears, Laredo. And we want to repeat that again today. So tune in, tell your friends, hey man, turn us on, turn on these guys. They have nothing to lose. They don't like us, turn us on. But here's the opportunity. And this is just for you guys. So you're gonna see some of your local friends, groups, or crews that want to speak out to the rest of Laredo. Here's where to do it. Anyway, TJ, that's just a quick recap of what we had last week. So there you go.
All right, Bojo, thank you so much. So, I'm always going to try to start off with a message and end with another message. So, one thing I want to talk about real quick before we come to our first guest, which I'm very excited about because, you'll see when we talk about him, talk to him. But, so guys, look, technology is great. It's awesome. I'm amazed at how many developments we've had since I was, I'm a 70s, 80s kid, and some of the stuff that we have now, I laugh when kids say, life is hard. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea. Like right now, I can't remember my life without a phone. I don't know if you
Yeah.
I don't know how we ever got along without a phone. I don't know how we found anything. I don't know how we knew anything. in the world.
Memorized anything?
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Your phone number? What is? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right now, yeah, I bet you half of us don't know certain phone numbers.
Yeah, but if I would bring out my pager, no.
No. So, yeah.
They're like, what's a pager?
So, but some of it is also a lot of negative stuff that's come with it. One of the negative things that have come up is that I find it really funny how some people grow balls behind the keyboard. There's a lot of bullying. There's a lot of attacks on people, or even on the phone. Sometimes we don't want to face the other person, so we talk a lot of shit on media or we make phones.
First, before we evolved.
What do you mean?
We evolved. That cowardliness, it evolved. Before it was on bathroom walls, remember?
Well, that's true.
And TJ
That's
said
true,
like,
yeah.
And now it's on behind.
That is
Anyway,
true.
go ahead.
Yeah, for a good time call, whatever. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, and I'm saying this because I had an incident with an acquaintance of mine. I'm not gonna call that person a friend, but it was a squabble over some funds, and I'm not gonna get too into it. But over the phone, this person was very brave, and I'm talking about years of knowing each other and whatever, and they chose to end the relationship by being cowardly assholes over the phone, and that great. I'm just saying that besides that, that's gonna put me into another topic, which is mental illness and mental stress. I don't know if it's the heat. I don't know what's going on, Freddie, but it's gotten to the point where people are acting stupid.
Stupid, yeah.
I mean, it's gotta be with the weather, maybe the ultra processed foods, whether that people are blaming now, you know, for autism. I don't know what it is, but something's up. Something's up. The vaccines, maybe.
The vaccines, yeah.
The devil, if you're religious, the devil, whatever it is, something's up. So right now, people need to settle down, buckle up, you know, put on their seatbelts, because things are gonna get a lot worse before they're gonna get better. So,
Definitely.
take care of each other, guys. All we have is this one opportunity to get things right on this earth, and then we'll see what happens in the afterlife, right? But right now, you know, I have had several issues with several people in the last 2 weeks that I never thought would act a certain way, that I tried taking care of, and, you know, backstabbing, turning around, whatever. And that's on them, not on me. Because I sleep well at night. It's like the commercial, how do you sleep at night? All night long, right on those, whatever bed. But my point is this, that people need to really, really pay attention to what they're doing. And remember that there are repercussions to everything. Whether some are good, some are bad.
Yep.
So don't think that just because you mistreated somebody today that, let me tell you, there's this one female, she's a freaking bitch. She's an asshole. Her name is Karma. And that bitch will find you every fucking time.
Yep.
And if you don't believe me, keep on acting like assholes, people, and you'll see.
You'll see.
You'll see. You're gonna find her out real quick. And you cannot get away from her at all. She will come back and bite you in the ass. So anyway,
Be nice.
I'm gonna leave that alone for now. But all right, let's get to our first guest. I mean, I'm really excited. He goes by the name of Jose Flores. You know, I know I just found out he went to United, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. But he is a local teacher of fine arts. I'll let him explain. And then he's also an actor. He's very involved with the acting here in Laredo. Again, a lot of people say that nothing happens. Yeah, a lot of things happen in Laredo. It's just that we don't know, or we don't care to come out of the fajita and carne asada.
I was just
bullshit.
gonna say that. You know what, people in Laredo complain, oh, there's nothing to do. Yeah, but you don't want to come out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That
So-
you think Laredo's just a little square. Like, no, dude, there's a world outside that square. Get out of it. Enjoy it.
And we can talk shit because we've been, all three of us have been across the world. We've seen different cultures. We've experienced different things through the military. So we can tell you guys that at the checkpoint, you know, remember back then people used to think that the world was
It's
square.
Antarctica, that's it.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna fall off when you pass the checkpoint, I promise you.
The world is flat.
And the more north you drive, guess what? You start seeing different colors: green grass, green trees,
Different temperature.
white people, black people, Asians.
Yep.
You know, you're not just seeing brown, you're not just seeing dry shit, you're seeing other stuff. So try it. You know, just go to San Antonio at least. You know, get out of here and go to San Antonio, you'll see. The world is huge, guys. But anyway, going back to Mr. Flores, Joe, thank you so much for joining us today. I've been, you know, kind of keeping. I know every time we look at a production of something from Little Theater or whatever, it's always your beautiful face there. And so I said, you know what? Let me bring Joe on. Not only are you involved with that, and you know, I'm amazed by actors because you guys do stuff that, I mean, we all act, right? But not professionally. We do it just to get away from trouble, lying, whatever we do, right? But you have been trained and done it, and I'm just surprised you haven't. I mean, I guess you love Laredo so much, but I'm surprised you haven't been out there to become a star somewhere, because I know of you, I've seen what you do, and I'm really happy to know you. And so tell us a little bit, please, where you. I mean, we already said who you were, but where are you coming from? What are you doing now? All that good stuff.
Well, my name is Jose Flores, and so as I act or direct in the community or do even like the school stuff, that's my formal name that I write down on programs and stuff, Jose Flores. But my friends, they know me as Joe Flores. So I think even like some of my colleagues, they'll call me Joe, you know, and that's fine. Like either or, it doesn't matter. I just I go by either or. It's a funny story about my name though, because like growing up here in Laredo, I think this is ironic. Growing up here in Laredo, every, I mean, like you said, I went to United. I know, yeah, I had a thing with that, but.
Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Flores.
Make sure you close that door.
No, I know, right? Anyway, but growing up, my friends all call me Joe. Joe. And then we live in Laredo, which is a majority, Hispanic community.
What?
They could pronounce Jose, right? So I go to UT because I went to UT for college, right?
Oh my God!
yeah.
Strike
So
two.
he didn't stop.
He liked
UT
to.
Austin, yeah.
UT wasn't.
So the orange and the Longhorn, I guess. But so I go to UT Austin, right? But I'm a drama major, not like a business major. Even though I think now I was talking to one of my students, and they're applying to schools and stuff, and I had to tell them, I go, yeah, when I was a student, like I got recruited to go to the McCombs Business School, which was really hard to get into. I turned it down. I went to the drama school instead. And of course, even my students look at me like, why'd you do that? I said, I think my parents thought the same thing. But aside from that, I said, I went to the drama school. So our classes are smaller in the drama department, right?
Of course.
And so, like, your classmates sit there and they listen, right? And sometimes they don't know your name, but it's in a small class, so they actually call roll. And so they listen to what the professors called you. And so the professors, they would see me and they'd be like, and some of them would get, like, they'd love to say the name because, they're white and, Jose Flores. Like, they would just say that. So everybody at UT in Austin knew me as Jose. All of a sudden I was Jose in Austin. And it's weird because, but now that I came back to Laredo, I'm Joe again, and then I've been competing in UIL now for the almost 30 years total, coming back from my career now. So now people around the state starting to call me Joe. I know that was a long story just to get to my name.
No. But because you already pretexted it to something else, so
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in destiny, and even though I know you're a smart guy and you had that opportunity, I mean, it was a huge risk for you to say no and then to do what I really, really want to do.
Yeah.
Which is so you are in life at the right place at the right time. You're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so even thinking, I don't think I bet you never said I should have gone the other way. Besides financially.
Well, of course. Are you kidding me? My dad's a lawyer. And a successful lawyer. There has been times when I've been like, maybe I should have been a lawyer. At least I would have felt better about my bank account probably. But
But
going back to what you said, could have, should have, would have. None of that matters. Like, I can't dwell in the past.
No. But what I'm telling you, do you think you would be as happy and content in your life?
I have no idea, and I'm gonna answer that on the positive side. Maybe not, and I think that maybe you're right, because here's the thing: a lot of times when we imagine like, well, I should have done this or I should have done that, we never imagine the bad stuff that would have happened with that.
Right.
We only imagine the good stuff, like I tell you right now, sometimes I sit there and go, maybe I should have been a lawyer, maybe I should have done this. Well, I'm only thinking like, oh, I would have been a successful lawyer. How do I know I would have been a successful lawyer?
Exactly. That's true.
It could have blown up in my face.
But
never know.
you can
Yeah.
tell with all certainty
Yeah.
that you're a successful actor, you're a successful
Yeah,
teacher.
and I've been blessed. Like I don't, and I'll say this: like as being a teacher the last almost 30 years, I've been like 29 years. I started right when I was 23, right when I graduated, and being in the theater also, because theater bonds you in a way that it's hard to describe unless you do it. Like if you don't do it, you quite don't understand it. Like I mean, because like I say, like we do a play and like. We're all acting as a family, but we're not real family, but we're going through that adventure pretending to be a family.
Yeah.
And then you go through the whole emotional roller coaster of the drama of the show and
Absolutely.
the butterflies and everything and the challenges that come with it. It just kind of bonds you in this really unique way. And all I can say is that, I guess I never stopped. Like I did in high school, did in college, came back. I started directing in high school. And so like, yeah, I didn't go to Hollywood or do any of that stuff, but I'm still making a living doing theater, like
What you
and
like, what you
yeah,
want
so
to
I
do.
mean, so in that sense, like it keeps you young, it keeps you sharp. I think the biggest thing about theater is, and I try to describe it like this. So I was trying to explain this because somebody was asking about it, and I said, well, sometimes I try to tell my students that like studying theater is like studying what it's like to be a human being, because in any given scene, I have to think about like, how would a person react to this, or how would they feel, and what are the reactions that would happen in this situation? So we have to study people a lot, and we study people and I think that helps you build the empathy. It helps you get like a perspective that maybe you didn't before. Plus, depending on if you're doing a period piece, sometimes you learn a piece about history that you never thought you would, But I'm saying all that to get back to, at the end of the day, it's still a collaborative art and you're working with other people. And I've just been fortunate to have encountered some of the students I've encountered over the years, the privilege I've had to interact with them, the privilege I've had to see them grow up, and they've gone off to do other things, and new ones that come around. And every play, I always describe every play as like its own adventure. And so my life doesn't get dull, like, cause one show's over and another one comes, you know, it's a new adventure, the same roller coaster ride, you know? And so I just think that I've just been blessed and fortunate to be able to meet all. It's, you know, like I was even thinking about that the other day because I do. Like right now, I'm currently the theater arts teacher at the Vidal M. Trevino Magnet School. So I'm trying to build that program up as far as that. I was at Nixon for like, I want to say like almost 16, 17 years, I think. So those of you that were booing my United credentials know that I was like a Mustang for a lot longer year-wise, you know. So I've been in LIZ now almost like 20 years. So
There you go. That's where you go.
yeah, there we go. So, but at the end of the day, I don't think of myself as like United or Nixon or anything like that. I just think of myself as a Laredoan, you know, and
Awesome.
and this community. And it's kind of like you said. And one thing that I've learned over the years that I've been here is I do really feel this. I was talking to a friend of mine, Brother Babaton, and this is probably one of the most talented communities that you can ever be around. Now, a lot of people don't know that, and sometimes you see talented people here and there, and they just don't get attention, or they don't, or other people in the radio don't know that. And I'm not blaming anybody for that. We all get caught up in our own lives, you know. But the one thing that I would say about to the Laredo community, as far as like doing the theater stuff, is I do appreciate all the people that have ever come out to watch a play and taken time out of their life. And I try to tell it to my students too, like, or even my community, when I direct a play in community, and I tell them, hey, look, don't ever take this for granted. Don't ever take an audience for granted. Like, they're taking time out of their busy day to come and watch you for a couple hours and appreciate that. Like they don't have to come out. Like, we're not entitled to an audience, you know? I mean, you want an audience, of course, you know, but at the end of the day, I feel very fortunate and blessed to even get an audience to kind of see that. And so to understand, like, one of the things that bonds us is that when we're doing live theater, if you're a performer, there's a certain energy that you feel when an audience is there. It's hard to describe unless you go through it, you know. And I guess with any performance arts, whether it's music or whatever, it's just hard to describe. You can't replicate that by looking at a movie or anything like that. It's just, there's a certain energy. And the other thing too is the performance will never be the same again. Like, let's say Friday night, we just had this one audience, they're real active, they're real, and the energy's there, and we're responding to them, especially if it's a comedy, and you're like, da 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 da, and you're like, wow, that was an awesome audience, that was an awesome show. Well, the next day I got to do the show again, there's no guarantee you're going to see the same show with the same energy, because depending, that audience may not be as active, and I'm no fault of their own. It's just, that's just the makeup of the audience, and that's one of the things that make live theater great, is that it's not set in stone. And the other thing too, like, it's always evolving and changing, and so the fact that it's not permanent is actually, I think, what makes it special. So sometimes you can see the same show 2-3 times and get a different feel for them. It just depends on the performer and things like that too, and what we do. But at the end of the day, like, I feel privileged to be able to, for any of the people that come out and see that, and more so than that, I feel privileged to like work with the castmates and crewmates and everybody that's ever made the plays possible. Because a lot of people behind the scenes too. Like, when I do community theater, like, because I'm also on the board of LTGI, Laredo Theater Guild International, and there's a lot of unsung heroes that are behind the scenes working to help get us funding, working to make arrangements to do the theater and things like that. And they're just lovers of watching theater. They don't get the glory of like being on stage as far as like when the audience sees them and stuff like that too. But we wouldn't be able to do what we do if they weren't around there providing us that opportunity.
So that's another thing. You're right. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. So
For sure.
Yeah, just to get, by the time that light was on and you come out and say something,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
There's been a lot of work.
real work got done.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the fun part.
Yeah. Because then now you come in the fun part.
But that's pretty humbling what you just said right now about you don't deserve an audience.
Yeah,
Because, like me, I'm a consumer. Sometimes I'm very spoiled, and I'll say, "This better be good, bro," because you know what I'm saying. Like, here I am saying it.
Yeah, but I think as a consumer, that's kind of your right to do that. Like,
Yeah, but
well, and
still,
I mean, we could argue about niceties, but at the end of the
I'm
day,
not talking
like,
about empathizing or anything, but you know what? There is a lot of work that goes behind prior to you getting up there. So teacher said, once you get up there, okay, so you already scaled the mountain and we enjoy the view now.
Yeah.
But everything else happened and you guys rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. But for you guys to say that we don't deserve an audience, even though, because a lot of people say,
Well,
I
let me-
work so hard for
Yeah,
this.
well,
and this."
let me rephrase that. I don't think we're entitled to an audience.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
rephrase
I
it like
caught
that.
what you
Like,
said.
you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I mean. I feel it's special for anybody that would, I mean, because my thing is that just because, yeah, and it's true, there's a lot of work on it, but like, I mean, if you don't want to come see it, you don't want to come see it. Like, what am I going to, I mean, like, I'm not a dictator. You have to go see the play. You know, don't get me wrong. I want people to come see the play. And there's sometimes when I'm like,
But that's good though.
so-and-so didn't come see my play and I get hurt. My feelings get hurt. But being a professional, it's like, I don't know what was going on either at that time when they didn't come see it. Like, I
And
don't
what's
know.
the best part of it, you actually having a performance?
I think it's the whole sequence, like, because at the beginning, like, you get nervous and you're just really like worried about it. I don't care how many times you do it, you're always gonna get nervous.
Right.
Like, that never goes away. And I think it's just that whole challenge of just, oh my god, I'm gonna do a good job, and then you go through it, then you let yourself take over. That's why you've been preparing so much, and then you get through it. You hear the audience, you feel the audience, you get done with the adrenaline and everything. The show's over, and everyone's like, ah, and there's just a sense of accomplishment. Like, hey, we did this, and I think that's what makes it worth it. Because I think because you're right. Sometimes there's certain plays where you've been fighting backstage with your castmate. You've been fighting to put it together. People have opinions, how it should have been,
So
how it
much
shouldn't have been,
emotion.
what it didn't happen, and it's just tense. And then in your mind, you're like, I just want to get this over with. I just want it to be done because I want my time back or things like that. And you're just But then you go there and you perform in front of the audience. The audience likes it. They clap, whatever. You're in the end, and you're like,
It was all.
it's all's forgiven. Like, it sounds like, it's just that dopamine spike, I guess.
That's
And you
awesome.
you're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it again. Coming to like college, I remember there was this one time I seen this play. It was like my first main stage at the UT main stage, and I distinctly remember I was like 19 years old, and I was standing right off stage. I was about to go on, and I remember thinking, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I was really nervous. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna perform,
It's a
I'm gonna
good feeling.
and I'm gonna get judged, and I'm choosing to do this. Like, nobody put me this.
Hey, there it is.
I'm just gonna do it, and that's it. And I'll get done with this play, and then I don't have to do this
Never
anymore.
again.
I'll never drink again.
Until next time.
Until
Yeah,
next
until
time.
next time.
I'm not drinking again.
Yeah, exactly. Then you go through it, and everyone, hey, it was great. And you're, and you go through the whole situation again. Like,
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Then I was at that same stage, like, not more than like maybe a couple of months later in a different play, and I thought, here I am back again. So it's like, it was just one of those things where, like, I just think, like, when you're an artist or whatever it is, like, whether you paint or write or draw or do a podcast, I just think that there's just something in you that has the need to create, and it's hard to explain it. Like,
Right.
It is.
like you feel that you just have to do it for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
You have something you want to share with somebody.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And I think that's a very powerful feeling. It's a very humanistic, powerful feeling, and you just have to do it. Because if you talk about, like, yeah, I mean, when I do my community stuff, yeah, I don't get paid or any of that. We're just doing that for free. But my reward is the audience, I guess, and seeing the people that work on the shows grow also too. Because
Kind of sort of like us for free.
yeah,
That's for real.
Yeah.
For now.
That's for real.
well,
For
yeah,
now.
I mean,
For
don't
now.
get me wrong. Like, none of us would object to getting paid before this, but
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'd also like to think, I mean, but we do it because we love it,
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
it's the way that we express ourselves, and let's face it, being a human is all about expressing yourself, and to whatever degree that you're doing. Now, whether you're responsible with your expression or not, I guess that's what goes back to, like,
Right.
how our human interactions go,
Yeah.
and so.
But that's great.
But yeah, no, I've been fortunate to the different adventures I've gone on, and
I'd
the
say you're
different
very,
people I've
I'd
met.
say you're very fortunate because you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, no, and
You
I
know?
thought about that.
I've
yeah.
always thought, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, I mean, well, sometimes it does feel
Yeah, well,
but,
true.
But no, but I know what you mean. But at the end of the day, like, I'm in blessed. Like, I mean, how many people can say that? Like, I've made a living just doing theater, really. Like,
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's
How,
awesome.
how many performances do you have under your belt? Did you lose count already?
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
There's no way, right? There's no way.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
so
and-
what's been the biggest?
Or the best one.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a tough question. Like,
There's gotta be one that stands out, whether.
Or the biggest challenge.
wow. Okay, yeah. Over the years, like, now, I mean, I think, because I have very specific. I think the best show that, like, I've acted in, probably here in the community, was a friend, one of my students who's my coworker at VMT, and co-directs all the plays with me right now at UT. Mark Gonzalez, he directed Frankenstein.
Okay.
Okay.
And we did that back in the fall of 2023. Yeah, I think that's probably the best show I've acted in. Well, because it was a very balanced show in the sense that like it had good acting, it had a good cast, but Mark was very innovative with the way that he staged it and the way that he did it, and the way it was blocked. We had like a rotating set thing that the kids like moved.
Oh, okay.
And there's some really, because he's really great visually too, like as far as like effects and lighting and things like that. So I guess it was just one of those shows where I was sitting there going, I know the audience is gonna like this every night they come see it. You know.
Right.
So I guess that's probably the ones that I acted in. As far as like other shows that I've seen, I mean, there's just a bunch of them. I mean, I think he did it. I think the best show he directed though was the 39 Steps. Was ironically was a show that not many people saw. You know, it was in our early stages of the theater company, and it was a brilliant show, a great comic show, like almost it was a comic masterpiece. We didn't have big audiences back then, but that was when we were kind of starting out and things like that. You know, but I do think like for the organization, and I didn't have anything to do with this play. I wasn't in it. I didn't direct it. I just kind of came and gave notes one day and just kind of watched it and enjoyed it. As far as like LTGI, I think probably their biggest production that was like, as far as like not numbers of seats sold, but I just think just the atmospheres when they did in the Heights. They did in the Heights and I just think it's just a subject matter too. Like it makes you feel like that it brought out the Hispanic in you, the pride, watching it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was just a brilliant production, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch over and over again. I mean, that's one there. So, but I mean, it's hard to like quantify it too because they've done so many good shows over the years that it just depends on personal taste now at this point. What different people like. But I think I guess commercially our biggest success has been Little Mermaid. That's the one that like. That's the one that packed everybody in.
Wow.
I'm not the biggest Disney person, me personally, but like I'm obviously.
Wait a minute.
that
So you
excited.
played Ariel?
No, I did
Okay.
not. No. All I did was.
You
watch
heard it here, folks.
It was one of my students that directed it, but no, that's not my thing. The Disney musicals are not. I say that now. Watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be directing a Disney musical like in 2 years. But
In the next commercial, it's gonna be Joe running around and acting over there.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's just not my
The
style.
Lion King.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all have our things, But
So what do you see? What would you like to see as a production, future wise?
You know what? I would like to leave that to like the newer directors that are coming up now, the younger ones that are coming out with new scripts and new things like that. I think that.
No, don't get away from me. I'm asking.
Wait,
would
no,
you like to see?
because like I was saying, like I'm
He's passing the
kind of in with the classics, like or as
Okay.
one kid told me one time they're like, oh, you like old titles, and I'm like, they're not old to me.
They're not,
They're
yeah.
old to me,
Well, they were old when you first found out about them 30 years ago.
yeah.
But no.
I mean, but there's a lot of new playwrights coming out now, and so sometimes I find out about these new plays by the younger people that are coming out. Let's do this play.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, wow. It's like, I mean, it's always been like some of my like friends that have been like, hey, go check out this new play. Well, like even like Mark, my co-director, the one that I work with at VMT, I mean, he really bugged me like during Christmas break. Like he was like, hey, let's go to New York. I want you to see this play. And so we actually with Sunset Boulevard, it was this old play, but the way that they staged it was in a totally different, innovative new way. And so I'm getting exposed to that from some of my ex-students that have gone on to study it
badass,
and things like that.
Yeah,
So-
you showed them a way. I'm showing you.
yeah, exactly.
Which is
so,
cool.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so for me, as far as like what I would like to see now, I would, hey, sometimes you got to pass a baton and
Yes.
you got to wait for them to like
Yes.
see what they bring to the table and how that affects you. And like I always say, like you're always learning. So like I learn from them too. Like,
So-
I'm like,
So
yeah.
there was a French philosopher. I can't remember his name, but he made a statement about teaching.
Mhm.
Is that to teach
Mhm.
is to learn twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've all been educators here, whether it's military or, I taught at A&M, whatever. The next guest is also a teacher and educator of music. So I think all of us, we're all on the same age group, and it's sometimes you have to know when to bow out or when to take a step back and let somebody, if they have a better idea or a new idea, why not?
Yeah.
Because when you start being too rigid, it's like the Asian thing about the tree.
Well, you're not evolving.
You're not evolving. You are not evolving.
And I think that like
Exactly.
especially the arts, that's what they do, or even as humans, like that's what we do. Like the things evolve, they change, and you don't want to completely get set in your ways, or you never want to be like you never. I guess the way I phrase it is, you never want to lose that awe you have for the art form. Does that make sense?
Right. For the art, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think you'll ever get to a point where you're just like, oh, I already know everything.
Right.
about it.
No, that's a
Like,
danger
I know
there.
That's
a very
There's
dangerous-
actual people that actually
Oh.
think that.
Yeah, like, oh, I already know everything I need to know. Like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know
You
several
know.
people that don't just.
Well, here's another thing
Yeah.
that when, so you got to be careful because you want to provide for a venue for development and furtherance, and that's great. But sometimes we tend to give up our morals and our values and our ethics, and you can't do that either. You gotta carry that football
Mhm.
with the new play. You know,
Yeah.
it's a slower run because we're older, but
Yeah.
still get to the touchdown. But just don't let go of those main what made you famous or successful. Famous in your own mind, right?
Yeah.
Or successful. The one thing that I've seen a lot on Facebook is people are recording Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Dude, he
There.
sounds like shit.
Yeah.
He sounds like shit. The voice is not there anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go pay to go see Guns N' Roses,
You want to see Guns N'
I want to
Roses?
hear Axl Rose sing what he used to, because the players are playing better music.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Sledge, you know, but he starts singing and it sounds like the old man from freaking
Well, I mean,
what's that fat guy from the cartoon?
yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
so
my personal experience. Okay. I mean, growing up to Guns N' Roses, because that hit when I was like in high school. I always noticed, even back then, I'm like, when they would show him sing live, clips of him singing live versus, and of course it wasn't.
He can only do that for.
I was
so
like,
long.
he's a studio singer. Like,
Oh, got it,
he
got it.
sounds like that because they recorded him in the studio.
Exactly.
But when he would sing loud, it was always
It
like,
wasn't-
I was bored, you know.
and that was back then.
Yeah, it was back then. So I can imagine now.
Family Guy.
And
That's
I
what
didn't really
Family
like,
Guy.
and this is just my perception of it, because like I said, I just saw clips of it. I wasn't around the guy. It's not like I love him stuff, but from what I saw in some of the clips, to me, he's the type of person that I think he took his audiences for granted after a while.
No, well, you know the
because
history. You know the
he would
history.
throw bad behavior.
Yes.
I think there was one
He
time
wouldn't
like,
show up.
then he would just walk out
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Dude, you're abusing your audience.
Yep.
Like you know, like how can you do
His
that? Like I
career.
don't understand how you can live like
Yeah, he's abusing his
and,
career.
and be okay with that. Like,
Yeah.
Well, don't go
like-
too far. Did you know that he was in the army for a year and some months? Did you know
Really?
that?
He was in there?
They threw him out.
Yeah.
He just could not follow instructions.
Adapt to military
Yeah,
atmosphere.
he cannot. They threw him out. He had a dishonorable discharge. So that just tells you what kind. Look, if you look at the DSM-4, the psychology book of diagnosis, there's something called oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
got it. He's got it. He would not show up to. In fact, they broke up because of him.
Yeah.
He thought he was Guns N' Roses and he
Mhm.
wasn't. Now, as an old fart, he's still acting the same way.
Yeah.
But my point is this: you gotta know when to bow out. I did 30 years as a cop, and guess what? You know, I retired at 50, 4 years ago. So now you know how old I am, right? So my point is this: that
You're
I
older,
cannot
yeah.
do what I used to do when I was 20.
Right.
And guess what? I don't want to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
your body starts
Yeah,
invoicing.
yeah, a bunch of invoices.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to do it anymore. So you
Yeah.
gotta know when to bow out and let somebody else take it
Oh,
over.
for sure. I
Yeah.
think that goes with a lot of things.
And a lot of people, and again, the next guest can attest to this. There's some people in some circles that can no longer physically do certain things,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they need money or whatever and continue to force themselves.
Yeah.
And it affects the group, especially if you belong to a group or an organization. If you're failing, if you cannot pull your weight anymore, you don't want to leave because of pride. You don't want to leave because that's your
Yeah.
identity. You don't want to leave because you need money.
Or-
But you're being selfish
or
because you're
sometimes it's ego.
or the ego. That's what I'm saying. It's just the damn ego. You gotta bow out. I will respect you more for bowing out and saying, you know what, I can't do this physically anymore, than continue to embarrass me or embarrass the group or whatever in front of people.
Is
But it sounds like shit.
their own legacy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's different. Like when you're asking people to like forego over money to come and see you, and you're not professional enough
Yeah.
to like give them a good show. You know,
Because
like,
the other thing also is that it happens naturally to some folks that
I
just
mean,
lose connection.
yeah. I mean, like, how would you feel
They
if,
become
like,
irrelevant.
like going back to like we were talking about restaurants before the podcast started? Like, how would you like to like go to a restaurant, order some food? It's terrible food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna say names, but you're located next to Chuck E. Cheese. So.
Anyway, and so you're just like, oh, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So like, it's just one of those things where like, yeah, I mean, you want to have a certain duty to people that are coming to see you or paying to see. Because at that point, they're your fans. Like, you're not like, and when you reach that level of success, like it's your fans. You know, like why would you do that? You know, why would you like not care about them at all? You know.
One thing important also remember, it's not about what people say it to you, or it's how they make you feel. So we have been blessed in 10 shows before this one. That when even the last guest, sometimes the first guest, they don't leave right away, man. They're out here, you know, they're waiting for the end because it's liquor or whatever, but they don't want to leave, which is cool. That's the environment we want to project to you guys, so that if I ask you guys to come back again, you'll gladly do it because you already know it's a safe environment. It's not. So again, just to remind everybody, the whole purpose of this podcast is to showcase. And I'll tell you, Joe, I want to showcase you now that you're alive. Talk about who you are and what you've done, and say that Joe, you know, Flores was a badass guy to your face instead of when you die. Who gives a shit when you're dead? Who cares?
That's true.
You know, no, let's tell you now.
Yeah.
Let's let Laredo in the world that's watching this, because we've had people watch all the way from Dubai. Let the world know who Joe Flores is.
You were gonna say Uganda.
No, Dubai. that was Kamala.
Oh my God.
Not Harris, Kamala the wrestler.
Oh.
That was a good wrestler. But anyway, so real quick, what's next for Joe? What's
Okay, well.
Well, you know what? Before we get to that, tell me a little bit about what's going on at VMT. What
Okay,
you're actually
definitely.
I was just gonna ask.
Well, number one, like we were doing. Well, speaking of, I'm gonna take the transition. When you're talking about knowing when it's time to bow out, but like me and Mark, I did Nixon one act play for like at least a good like 8-9 years, and then Marcus was one of my students, and then he came back, and we've been co-directing ever since for like the last like 12 years. And in that time, we had 2 state appearances, multiple region appearances, area appearances. We've been really successful, but this year we called it quits. Like, that's it. This is the last competition piece we're doing. We just did it last weekend. We did a play called Electricity, and it was about, it was adapted. It was based on the Greek play Electra, but it was adapted by a guy named Luis Alfaro, and he adapted it to LA Gang members. And actually, I was watching an interview with him, and I was researching the play, and he was telling the story, but he got the idea because he was working with, I guess young offenders in Tucson, and one of them was like, there was a girl there that was like, she had killed her mother because she had put a hit out on her drug dealer father, and then when he heard that, he was like, that's like the Greek story in Electra where they kill the mother kills the husband, you know, things like that too. So then he adapted to a Greek format. So it was a Greek type of play thing. That was our last competition piece. We got to area. So we had a successful year, and we were proud of the play. And so, but we're calling it quits as far as competing. Now that being said, now we're transitioning into like really full time, just focusing on building BMT up, because we've been doing double duty at VMT and Nixon, and so I'm really focusing on now. Trying to recruit some new kids and just really develop the drama department there. That being said, a few of our kids, and we have a couple Martin kids too, because at VMT we have kids from all 3 schools, so we can do this. We've got invited to go perform a play in Edinburgh, Scotland at the Fringe Festival in August. So it'll be, I think our first performance like August 1st, August 6th or whatever. So we've been fundraising off and on throughout the year. We're actually going to do the play The Lord of the Flies. It's an adaptation. It's a more modern adaptation of it.
Yeah.
But since it's a Fringe festival, that means we're not going to use a lot of like setting costumes. So it's going to be very simple, few lights, things like that. So it's really innovative kind of staging. But we're taking about 11 kids from our school. These are not the most economically advantageous kids. So we've been helping them out. So the only thing that I would ask is if you know me or you see my Facebook page, I have a GoFundMe thing on my Facebook page.
Sure.
Anybody wants to donate, feel free to donate. We're close, like we're not far from our end goal, but yeah, a couple of kids need a couple of help. And the only reason that I push it is because I was trying to tell people like this kind of trip is a life-changing experience for the kids. Because a couple of kids have never even been like past Austin, like in Texas, and so we're here to take them all the way to Scotland to just see a different culture, to just see different
What is it with Scotland?
and also
Doc last week, he's going for a strongman
Oh yeah,
competition.
yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Over there?
Were you
Yeah.
going to Scotland?
Yeah, that was in Scotland.
Fred, are you awake, Fred?
England. No,
Why
you're-
are your pants off?
That's awesome.
Well, we'll go to London for a couple of days, and then we'll go to Scotland for most of the trip, and it'll be about like 2 weeks. But what's going on there at that time, the Fringe Festival? There's art stuff going around the entire city, so it's not even just art for performances. There's going to be plays everywhere,
Everywhere. Oh.
everywhere, and
You will
not just
change
plays.
your
There's
life.
plays, there's music, stand-up comedians. It's like a huge festival,
Yeah.
and we just want our kids to be able to see and be exposed to that.
You will
and
change your
there's
life.
just something about like the psychological feeling of like, oh, seeing that, experiencing that just makes you feel better about yourself when you get back, you know, and that's something that we want to, because like you said earlier when we were talking about it, travel makes you appreciate
Yeah.
things and
Yeah.
appreciate even home or
Yeah.
look at different things, different perspective on stuff, and realizing that like your little world is not like just your house,
Your
it's-
comfort zone.
yeah, and a lot of times when we get, I guess, alienated like that, we tend to just obsess over problems and just and realize like, wait a minute,
There's a whole life.
there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on out there that you could be a part of, or at least like change something. And so my thing is, if you feel really stuck in your rut, move.
There you go.
Somewhere completely, change it. And
There
but
you go.
human beings are we're naturally opposed to change. Like we fight it within ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
No.
The older we get, the harder it is.
Yeah.
And it's because we get used to stuff. It's kind of like what going back to the question that you asked me earlier about like, why didn't I ever go to like to Hollywood and things like? Well, maybe because I got used to being here and doing things, and I just never thought about it. And the newspaper interviewed me one time a couple years ago when I directed Into the Woods, and it had never dawned on me. But a friend of mine had told me one time, and if you'd asked me this 5 years ago, I'd be like, now you're crazy. They asked me like, why didn't you ever go and try that? Because I always told them like, I'd love to have been a professional actor, like professional
Sure.
wrestling. And that was the original dream. And one of my really good friends told me, he was like, you know what I think it is? Because I think you're afraid. And I was like, what? No, I'm not afraid. Why would I be afraid? Like, about this shit that was like, I was like, I was insulted by the question. I was like,
Yeah.
macho came out. I'm not afraid, But then the more I thought about it, then later when the newspaper asked me, I was like, maybe there's some truth to that, like you get used to your situation, you get comfortable, and let's face it, it's not like I was in a bad situation. I had really cool kids. We were doing really cool theater. We were really. Am I cool with just saying, let me just junk all that for the unknown?
I was about to say.
Because I might make it, I might not make it, I might fall on my face. Am I really okay with ditching that? Does that make sense? But I was comfortable and I was having a good time. So yeah, maybe there's certain truth to that. Like, yeah.
No, but you know what, Joe? I mean, you have
Yeah.
to look at it this way that
Yeah.
you could have done that and been that, but
Yeah.
I think you are where you need to be at.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to
So
put
you're
it.
breeding other actors,
Yeah,
actresses, and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, and they're always going to remember you. You're going to be more famous in their lives because
Yeah.
you catapulted them to where they have to be.
Oh,
Where you
yeah.
prepped them and trained them, or whatever you want to call it. You got them ready for success. You ramped them up for that success.
Now, here's the deal. If one of those makes it one day, that's you.
Yep.
You made it.
That's your signature.
Yeah,
Then.
so, no, look, we got a musical genius coming up. I'll kiss his ass in a little bit. Just like I'm kissing your ass right now. But all of us
You're
have,
in that.
yeah, all of us have a road to travel, and we've done it, and we're still there. We're still on it till the big guy upstairs says it's over. So yeah, the woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
Look, I've been talking about law school since I was in high school, and I
Yeah.
haven't gone.
Yeah.
Why? Because so many other things happen. Family, work.
Oh yeah.
You know,
but-
Life happens.
War, the Afghanistan war, thank you.
You think you got that? My dad's, my dad, but as a
Yeah.
lawyer, like, I would honestly say this: he's never put pressure on me to ever be a lawyer.
Which is a good dad. That's a good. That's
He
a good
never
father.
did that. He never did that. I know his friends ask me, "Why aren't you a lawyer?" But like,
Because my dad is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, exactly. Well, why don't you ask back? Well, why aren't you an actor?
yeah, but-
So because that's not your calling. It's
Yeah.
you are who you are right now, and look, I'm sure you would have gone through law school. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
And you know that. So, but how many lawyers out there?
Yeah,
What,
much
so what do you call 1,000 lawyers in the middle of the sea drowned?
what?
A good start. But my point is that there's a lot of people that have gone to law school. Some can't pass the bar.
Yeah.
They have the certificate, but they don't have the
Yeah.
they can't practice because so And there's a lot of us that would love to be it because we're full of shit and we know what anyway. So, but let me tell you, man, I have a lot of attorney friends that they're brilliant minds and they're very good at what they do. But that lifestyle is not for everybody, man.
Yeah, that's what my dad. That's what
It
my
is
dad-
not for
That's what my
everybody.
dad told me.
It is hard. It is ugly. It is cutthroat. You have if you
Very
are if
consuming.
your things get, I mean, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, no, you told me about all that stuff.
Oh, I can
just-
like yeah, no.
I just think I'm no.
And your character, the little I know about you,
Yeah.
you would not be happy. You would have to totally change yourself
Yeah.
into something that you don't want to be.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
so-
I guess I just had fun doing shows, doing plays, and then before you know it, it's just like the time to go. I did this for 10 years.
Again?
I've been doing this I've been doing it for 30 years. But I guess that means I was having fun because I lost track of
Well,
time.
like, look at
Yeah.
us, all of us are 30+ year veterans. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Where did that go? Where all
yeah,
that
it's
time
amazing
go?
how fast the time just goes. Like,
Let alone from all of our other, you know, sort of
It's
careers.
amazing how fat the time goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
That's true.
yeah, okay. It's good. It's
That's
Anyway,
the
moving
radio.
on.
I blame this,
Anyway.
and if, yeah, because it's radio. I'm patting my belly, but I blame this on Laredo. The great food.
Actually, Laredo does have good food. I
Yeah.
will-
Gastronomy, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the restaurants, right? As we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that restaurant next to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we're at Blessed. It's funny. I was joking with some of my students one time. We took them on a trip to Europe one time, and they didn't tell them I had to warn them. Like, we're gonna go over there. One thing I need to warn you guys about: the food's not gonna be as good as home. Like, just appreciate it for what is there, but it's gonna be kind of tasteless and a little bland compared to what you.
Cold
usually
cuts.
get. Well, it's just because we have great food here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're right at the border, man.
Yeah.
We're right at the border. So, okay, now let me ask you the question: what's next for Joe? And, whether it's
Okay.
BFT or
Oh yeah,
Little
well,
Theater or whatever.
like I said, we're doing Lord of Flies this summer, so we'll do it over there in Scotland in the beginning of August. But when we come back to Laredo, we'll do it at VMT.
Oh, nice.
So when we come back, we'll do a weekend performances over there. So that'll be sometime in mid-August. Then I'll do a couple shows at VMT. I'm not on the docket to direct for LTGI this year, but just to plug my theater company that I work with, LTGI, they're going to do Sense and Sensibility in the fall. For anyone who's interested in that show. And it's a program that we call Class on Stage, and they bus in a lot of the high school students, English students, to come and watch it. I directed the one this last fall, back in October. I did Zoot Suit, but this time they're doing Sense and Sensibility now. So I'm not
Wow.
really doing a community show there. I don't know. I might act in one here or there. I'm not sure yet. But for the most part, I'm going to be really focusing on directing some shows at VMT. Try to get that established. Try to do some more recruiting there to build up that program.
Is the Laredo Little Theater still a thing?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the Laredo Theater guy is still there. Now we're LTGI, Laredo Theater Guild, so we primarily do our shows at either LC or TAMU.
Oh, but what I'm
the
saying,
theater.
like,
I'm getting to that.
the building.
And so we'll do those two, and then sometimes we do a little. There's a black box, not a black box, but it's like the old movie theater at LC. We call it the shoebox, and sometimes we'll do a smaller show there. But the Laredo Little Theater, okay, which is a separate company, a separate group.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have friends that work there, and we've worked with each other back and forth. Laredo Little Theater is its own entity, and they're, of course, in their traditional building that they've had for years and years.
Thomas Avenue.
Yeah, Thomas Avenue, and they're doing a Beetlejuice Junior during the summer, so
Oh, that's great.
they'll be doing that. I don't know what they're gonna do in the fall yet. I haven't heard, but yeah, I mean, it's a theater community. So yeah, I know them. They know us. Like, they can listen to
That's
things.
great. We'll
So,
go
yeah.
check it out.
So, but I'm not in their organization, so that's the only reason why I can't completely speak for them. But
Right,
but I'll plug they're doing Beetlejuice Junior.
So we-
Yeah, but,
We're doing
to
School
do
of Rock.
something.
LTGI is going to do School of Rock, and that'll be at 10 a.m.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
All right. So how much longer are you gonna keep on doing this?
Well, teaching.
No, the podcast. No,
Well, I said all that. I love it. To just say this.
I'm all over the place.
As soon as I qualify for retirement, I'm out of there. The reason I say that is because I've been teaching. Next year will be my 30th year.
Wow.
You know, so if I qualify for Rule of 80, I might be retiring from schools, and mainly for that is I have other interests in things. If I qualify for a pension, then I'm going to try other things. Like I may spend more time doing more community theater stuff.
Become a lawyer. I'm just. We talked about that.
I don't think I want to go back to law school or go to school for like 3 years like that and come back. But no, I wouldn't mind doing other theater projects, things like that too. You know, I figure I've done my educational time.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, and it's time for the younger generation.
Freelance.
I need to set it up for that. So like I say all that. Oh, it's great, it's great, great. Yeah, I want to retire in 2 years. But no, it's not that. It's just I have other interests and I want to pursue other things and and I think that
The Wrestling Academy, team characters.
Oh my God, I don't know if I could do that.
Do some good acting.
No.
But hold on a minute. So, a friend of mine is starting a wrestling academy,
That's what I'm saying.
and we are gonna do character development.
Oh,
so
okay.
not just wrestlers.
I wasn't playing
'cause,
around
no,
with
so
that.
there's some people that want to be a part of it, but maybe we're older or whatever. So, become a character and be part of the show.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't have to be a wrestler. You can be like
Exactly.
the manager. Or
Like
the,
there you
Right.
go.
Yeah.
You can teach the
So
emotion.
maybe you
emotion.
can come in. Maybe you
yeah,
can come
very,
in.
very theatrical.
Yeah, maybe you can come in and help some of the students. We'll talk later about
Yeah,
that.
no, for sure.
Yeah, I think, and you might even want to jump in and have some fun. It's always a
We'll,
great
we'll
time.
call it performance art.
There you go.
Performance.
You
Performance
want it
art.
to sound classier. But just
Yeah, it's
performance.
we're here. I'm here to teach performance arts.
There you go, yeah.
But Joe, thank you, man, so much for
Yeah.
stopping by. You were an awesome guest. I knew exactly a little bit know about you. I'm like, I don't have to prep him. He's gonna talk. He's got stuff to say because you've been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
and we really appreciate
Well,
what
and
you've done.
I'm kind of passionate about it. So
No, well, that's the word. That's the word.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Passion.
It's not hard for me to talk about this
That-
stuff.
You can't turn that off. Man.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there's other podcasts in Laredo, and yet we've been here for 11 weeks, except for when Freddie was sick. Other than that, I mean, we're here, and we.
Yeah.
And the whole goal is to always be here to show consistency, to show reliability. People that are looking forward to Thursdays at 7 to listen to our bullshit. So why? Because like you said, the word is passion. We have an interest in this. We could be doing other stuff, like drinking, but we're still doing it. So we're okay. But again, thank you, Joe, for
Yeah.
stopping by. Any last words you wanna say before we
Break a leg now.
I don't have to say it. I'm gonna do it right
The
now.
show must go on.
The show must. That's true. The show always goes on. It'll go on.
But also, Joe, I mean, anytime you have anything new,
Yeah.
Oh,
come
for
back,
sure,
come
for
back.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just
Come
say,
back
look,
to
I
us.
need 5 minutes. Can I?
Yeah,
come
I'm
on
gonna
over.
need to plug some. Yeah, no, and I was gonna say, hey, the last word, thank you guys for having me on and give me a forum to like talk, express ideas. Like that's always valued. And like I said, I try not to take any of this stuff for granted, and just really appreciate it and being in the moment. And I'm flattered that you'd have me on as a guest. I know that just on a side note, like it always freaks me out later when I read about like people that like give speeches and they get paid to give speeches, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
why would you pay that person to give a boring speech?
Now, let's
Like,
not talk about politicians, Joe.
it's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, why would you pay them that much money to not say anything? Like it's just like just platitudes. I'm just like, and you pay them? Like I can't believe it. But aside from that, no. But I just find it fortunate that anybody would even want to listen to me. You know?
No,
Oh,
So I was like,
We value it, like I said, we
Yeah,
wanted to
so
showcase,
different.
just like, the guests before you, the guests after you, we want to showcase you guys for what you've done.
Oh,
It's a
thank
life's
you.
work, it's a life's work, and there's still so much to do.
We want to network Laredo.
yeah, oh for sure. That's a
So
great thing. Yeah.
what we want to do is, okay, you do this, you do theater, you do. Somebody's out there listening and like, man, I need a mentor, or I needed somebody to help me with my company to do this, and here you are.
My advice is just create. Like there's I mean trying to create to the best of your ability. Whatever you do, whether it's writing a monologue or writing a this and that or whatever jokes or whatever you're gonna do perform. Like I mean, at worst, what happens? You have that material at worst, but at least you tried something and at least you're getting your mind active. You don't ever really succeed until you failed a bunch of times anyway. So like you develop it, and so the best thing you can do is create, just express yourself. And I just think that if anyone's listening and they just want to like pursue what it is that you have always had a question about and you want to try, because at least like I try to some, I just try to think, like I'd rather like have tried and like failed than not ever try it out, because that'll haunt you more so than.
And I never know what would I have succeeded or.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
I
Or
said,
I wish I would have
all
done
the
this. I
time.
wish I would have done that. Well, I mean, small victories. You can do little things.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
say it
have
all
to-
the time. There's
yeah.
no what ifs in my life.
Right.
Whether I fail or succeed, I
Yeah, no, and my thing is, and so thank you guys for giving us an outlet for people to come up here and share their talents and stuff like that too. It's kind of like you said, like you got musicians coming out that have been training and working on their craft for years and years and years, and sometimes that can feel like, does anybody notice, like, or
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
see me playing and like they think it's easy, or they think like they didn't like the struggle they went to get to that to be that good. you know, and so like it's great that you're giving them a forum and that you're talking to them, and yeah, just thank you for the opportunity to come over.
Of course,
And
thank you for your time. I know I'm sure some of the stuff you're gonna be doing, but
Yeah.
like Mojo said, if you have something important coming up, you wanna
Oh yeah, for sure.
promote something, whether
I'm
it's
sure
a
with
show,
this.
whatever.
Like I said, right now, the only thing I'm gonna plug is if you want to donate money, just call VMT. Help my kids out.
I already
Help-
beat you to that. No, I'm just
help get them to Scotland
There you go.
this
Yeah.
summer. But we're gonna do the play when we get back in August, so then I'll hit you up when we do that run or whatever.
I know you said it very mildly, but it will change their lives forever.
Oh, for sure. Oh no,
It's
no, no,
gonna
no.
impact their
No,
lives.
I know that because I took a group back in 2013, and one of the kids, Bonda, he works for Chicago Theaters now, professionally over there. Another one is in New York. She helps with the
That's
documentary
your-
film
that's your-
industry.
that's your signature.
And the other kid, one of the other kids that was on that trip, he just he's a co-director of a school, just one state and one I played down in the valley. Like so, like
Wow.
yeah, it's changed their lives. It got them to go do different
Yeah.
things, and so yeah, I know it's a lot. It's just a life changer. You can't take away experience from a person once they get it.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And that's an experience that you can't like, you know. And at such a young age, it's very like, oh, you know, it's a very
Experience is like, it's like herpes, you keep it forever.
That's true. Man.
I've been,
I said so, like-
I've been told.
I've heard from other
You still
people.
dealing with that?
Yeah.
I've heard from other people,
From other people.
like doctors.
No, it's because I have a friend.
Yeah.
So,
But,
all right, so don't leave yet. We're gonna, and you know what? Let me go ahead and say this. So, we're gonna walk a little bit with Joe to get a picture and get him to sign the little wall of fame.
So, bathroom
And
break.
then, so we're gonna play a little bit of music while we're there, guys. We're not done yet. We'll be right back. And then we got the other guest coming in. So
Stay
he's
with
already
us.
here. So stay with us, guys.
So you saw the format, it's just very informal. I'll introduce you and then just hey, tell us, talk about your, where you Houston. Ruben, how you doing? Hey, long time no see, man. How you been? Good, man. Aquí andamos. Todo bien. Good to see you, bro. Likewise, man. Todo bien. Todo bien, gracias. Don't worry about it.
There's something about the rest of the stuff.
I'll be back. Por favor, ya estamos a poner a trabajar. Ya.
You want Eric all
Well,
the legs?
no. Yeah, no.
Closer.
¿Cómo se vieron la gorra del conjunto que dice que
Digo, no sé, no, se lo vas
Yeah, no problem.
You're welcome. You don't have to leave. You're welcome to stay. Whatever.
You guys sit down, guys.
Ah,
Pues no que Lupe. Aquí Lupe.
Más o menos que sí. Qué chulo, huercos.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Mike's on.
All right, let's do it. All right. Well, we are back, guys. Again,
Thanks for hanging in there.
yeah, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes to get a picture with Joe and stuff. So we're gonna transition from one artist to another one. And the reason that I asked Mr. Ruben Vargas to be here is because I got tired of almost every musician saying, "Yeah, I work with Ruben Vargas."
fool.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, Ruben, he's the best. Whatever. Anyway, I wanted to, for those few people that don't know who Ruben is, for you to have a chance to meet him. I've worked with Ruben and he's helped me out in my project, so I'm another one of those people that say that Ruben's helped me out. But we go back to raw talent, and the one thing I like about Ruben, and you'll see what I'm talking about, is that even though he's a very talented musician, he's always down to earth. I've never ever gotten any kind of wind of him believing that he is at the level that he is. And that's why I wanted to give him kudos, because not everybody can do that. There's some people out there that are, let's face it, fucking karaoke singers, and they think they're all that, and they're not. They're not. But this guy is all that, and he's never acted on it. At least I've never seen it. I've never heard anybody say, well, Ruben thinks he's all that. No, it's always been, if I need something, who are you gonna call? Ruben Vargas. So without further ado, Ruben, thank you for stopping by. Let's see if we can get a camera on you. So basically just talk to us about you, Ruben. Who's Ruben Vargas?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me, right? Besides going all over the place, teaching, playing, all day. But I just thank you for inviting me, and it's been a privilege for me to be here. And so, yes, my name is Ruben Vargas. I've done music all my life. Basically, that's what I know what to do. It's funny because my friends tell me, "Hey, do you know how to do mechanic? Do you know how to do building?" No. What do you know how to do? Music. Can you live by doing music? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it all my life, and thank God that He's provided. Throughout. I'm the type of person that I've lived here all my life. One time we left to the days that I left, or the time that I left to other places was Kingsville, when I went to study over there and got my bachelor's degree in music education. And then I came back, got married, and started my family and stuff like that. So after that, for a while, I was teaching at Loreto College, where I was teaching, which I taught about 21 years, right there.
Wow.
And then my wife told me, you know what? I would like to go to law school. And I said, oh, that's good. And, the only thing is we have to leave the jobs. So I was like, yeah, we have to. So we ended up leaving everything, and we just went over there without, I remember getting an interview, but I didn't have a job.
Wow.
Just by going over there. So my kids were babies, so I said, you know what, by faith, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, wow.
So I just went
That's
over
a-
there, and I knew that God was gonna provide right there.
Right.
So I went there, got an interview, got a job. Boom. My wife got her, she started law school and stuff like that. So it was an experience over there. A beautiful experience. I met a lot of people, a lot of great musicians that sometimes you're playing here, you're doing stuff, practicing like if you were gonna perform, but you're not. But at the same time, I got to play with one of best people in the world, you know, over there. And so I got in a great experience. Then I come back to Laredo, you know, and you know, continue my life here. You know, now my kids are older. You know, they could handle themselves, like they say, and they're getting, you know, going to college and stuff. Like some are already graduated and stuff. So I've been blessed.
Awesome.
I've been blessed, and as far as here in Laredo, I love mariachi. I studied mariachi when I started middle school. I started playing. I went to Cigarro Middle School back in the day, but before that, I want to go a little bit backwards.
Wait a minute, wait. You went to Cigarro? Oh my God.
Oh, no.
That's even worse than United.
That's just an insult.
Sorry.
No, I'm
I gotta do
In
this.
my mind, Ruben, there you go. In my mind, Ruben, you're a Nixon Mustang. So, go ahead, continue.
Don't change that image.
Don't ever change
that.
Yeah, so I started when I was like very little.
So you were in the
probably.
mariachi back then?
Yeah, back then, but
Wow.
before that, I started singing when I was about 6 years old, or even, you know, I started playing the guitar. I remember my mom wanted to buy some guitars for us, for me and my brother. And then I remember, you know, she was telling me, hey, what do you think? Should we buy the kids guitars? Yeah, but they don't know how to play. Well, that's why. That's why we wanted to buy the guitar for them. So,
I'm making
yeah. And I remember one of the nuns there at the San Jose Catholic Church.
Yeah.
She was teaching some guitar, you know. So I said, you know what?
Wait a
My
minute.
mom said,
Was it this? Do, dear. Was it that one? Or what?
Just
A real nun.
Yeah.
A real nut, yeah.
So I started there, you know, and I remember my brother and I, we just started learning, you know, A major, E major, D major, all those stuff, you know, all those things. And it was just one of those things that when I knew I could handle a guitar, I knew that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
At a
Again,
very young
again.
age, this is
Yes,
it.
that's your calling. We go back
Yeah.
to what we were talking with Joe earlier. That's
Exactly.
your passion. Again, you have become an icon in this community without even knowing it.
Without even trying?
Yeah, without even trying it, because what you see right here is who this guy is. He's simple. I honestly, I've always joked that if you see Ruben in a group of people, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Until he
Right.
picks up an instrument and demands the respect and the attention.
There you go.
Without saying anything, just by starting to play. So that's why I wanted to showcase him, just like I did Joe, just like I did. We're gonna do with the following guest, because again, who cares about how people say how great you were when you're 6 feet under, or when you're about to be put in there? Yeah, who cares? Let's tell you now, because all the work. Look, you said 6 years old.
Around that time.
How long did it take you to learn the basic guitar chords? How long, honestly?
Honestly, it took me about 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Wow.
Right. That's
2
but
weeks
it
to
was
learn, that
it's
was
your
our,
calling.
you
That's
know.
your thing. Now I guarantee you that if you and your brother were in a race, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and not that he wasn't trying, it's just that it was more
He's
natural.
fine.
It was more natural to you.
Mhm.
And again, a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that.
Yeah.
They can practice all day, and they can, and I'm sure you as a music teacher or instructor, you'll take their money all day, but you can tell right away when someone's got it and when someone doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes. And the challenge is to develop those that are not quite there. Hopefully, at least to bring them to the next level, even though it's not going to be, where they want to be. But so that's what makes it. And I'm telling you because one of my recordings, Ruben played almost everything. Your brother Mojo was coming in. He played drums, and then Mike Chapa, who couldn't make it today, he played the keyboard. But everything else you hear, was Ruben on that recording. So, and he charged for like $10,000 for it.
Oh, hello.
I lost my house.
That was something else. That was your ex.
Okay, that was my ex.
Don't bring that in.
But anyway, so what's going on in Ruben's world right now?
Right now, I'm focusing more on the School of Music that I started. Ever since I was in Laredo College, they give you a certain requisite for you to do. Like for example, you're gonna teach this, and this. That's all. You cannot
okay.
teach
So you were
anything else
limited.
because that's what's you're in a contract. That's what
hiring you for.
That's the itinerary.
Yeah, so I said, you know what, that's fine, as long as I have a job,
Right.
So, very simple, I like to, first of all, I like to teach, that's one of my passions, That's one of the things that I like to do, I like for the student to, excel, I like to see the people, get better and better and better as that's my satisfaction.
There you go.
That's always been my satisfaction. And of course, I always I'm a true believer in if for example, if first of all I need to be a musician before a teacher.
Right.
Because if I don't know how to play, how can I teach them?
Absolutely.
So those are one of the things that I always do. I practice every day, every single instrument that I can.
Okay, stop right there. Tell us how many instruments you can play.
More than 50 instruments for sure.
Holy cow.
51 if you count the air triangle.
You're
He
trying
does
to-
this
For sure
solo
more
with
than
the air
50
triangle.
instruments,
It's
yeah.
awesome, man. You can't hear it that much because it's anyway. But no. So again, quick background story. So Ruben sometimes I will ask him to help me out with the mariachi, and of course, actually, when I say help, it kind of get us through the gig. But there's always a question he asks: what instrument do you want me to play? And I have to tell him, okay, I need vihuela, I need the trumpet, whatever it is. And he's like, okay, I got it. And not only, I don't have to worry about anything because he's got all the instruments anyway. So he's a one-man, show. So, but no, so around 50 more or less.
Around 50, yeah.
Of course,
Wow.
and of course you can read, write,
Read,
music,
write,
develop, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
awesome.
I like to arrange a lot, and,
That's good.
I started composing also, but the arranging, I like a lot to, like for example, I like to arrange stage band stuff, jazz, music, even sometimes I get into my crazy world of, arranging a mariachi piece, with, Led Zeppelin music, and so I started implementing that, and or a jazz piece in a mariachi, make it
Right,
sound
right.
different. I like to create a lot. That's why.
So I know that you have, or you still have the jazz band? You still have a little group? Or yeah, no, you're not doing it?
Yes, I do. We right now we're doing a duet.
Okay, do it.
We're doing a duet because, but as far as I just get my karaoke stuff, and then we start improvising. We get the real book and just read or sight read, and we just play and improvise.
Did you have anything to do with LC's jazz band?
Yes, I was the director. of
Okay,
the
that's what I
jazz
thought.
band.
I thought so. I thought
So,
so.
so again, I wasn't joking when I say that a lot of people know who Ruben Vargas is. The next guest, Conjunto Dreams, during the break, they came up and said, I don't know, because I'm going to venture to say that a lot of people have been helped by you, have come to you, and without even promoting yourself, it's just word of mouth. I need this done. Well, call Ruben, right? Call Ruben. A lot of times when I call him for help with the mariachi, he just can't because he's already tied up. Literally he's all day doing something
But
with
not only that, when some of the guests, a lot of them that stop by without even saying anything.
Yep.
Well, that's because Ruben helped me out with that. Well, that's because Ruben. They speak highly of you.
Thank you.
So that's just a lot. That's just a lot. You're also involved with the church? A lot?
Yes, I'm a worship leader at a church, and also I sing with another church also, and I sing. I basically do more vocal voices, do harmonies and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of them sometimes they ask me, what can I do in this? How can I make it better?
Right.
And I say, try this, try that, So I just give him the points, and it's just, and I tell him, but remember, it's not only just to learn how to do it, but to practice to make it happen.
Absolutely.
And exactly make it sound like it. And that's the hardest thing for a musician to get to where they have to be in this. For example, I like to hear a lot of Michael Brecker, Charlie Parker, all these big time. And I remember I used to practice at college like 8 hours a day, just making it sound like them exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
And you learn as you practice, and as you hear other people, other musicians, stuff like, you start sounding like them. So at the end, you start playing like, let's say Charlie Parker, Wayne Shorter, all these big time jazzers, And at the same time, you're putting those, let's say, 5 big time musicians and making them in one. So you start making your own style
Absolutely.
or your
Absolutely.
own
Develop-
creativity of sounding like this. And people tell me, hey man, you sound like this. At the same time, hey, but at the same time, you sound like this. You know what I mean? And that's what music is all about. You know,
Yeah.
the jambalaya of like foods. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're not afraid to fuse things up. That's
Exactly,
awesome.
exactly.
That's-
Because it's great to
Yeah.
create.
yeah,
It's great to create, make something new out of what you learned, you know,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
see what you could teach from that, you know, and you could play also. So.
Yeah, check this out. So we got Marita Gomez. She was here last week. Been coming to Hano Artists. She just wrote like, "Gran maestro Ruben Vargas. Felicidades." Again, well, she mentioned you last time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I mean, I'm just invite Ruben. Because Ruben this.
All jealous. of you.
What? Yeah.
I know.
Ruben, what's that song that you sing and that I always want you to sing for the funerals? I keep forgetting the name of it's a Christian song.
Is it Y si vivimos?
No, no,
para
no.
algo?
No.
Yo te extrañaré.
Yes. What's it called?
Yo te extrañaré.
Okay. I don't know if you ever heard that song. So we're playing. The first time that he sang it, I was like, I wanted to have his
Hold it.
baby.
Hold it.
I wanted to have his baby. No. No, I'm serious. It was. I'm not gay, guys. I'm not gay. But I did want to.
There's video though.
Back in when I went to United. Or Cigarron.
Cigarron.
So it's like, yeah. Okay.
Guys, I'm still here, guys.
So if you see a shoe coming this way, it was jokes. But here's the deal. I'm serious. We're singing to a family that just lost a loved one, and I had never heard the song in my life. He's like, and this is what he thinks I'm as good as he is. He's like, okay, eat, go, eat. I'm trying to eat with him. I'm like, I'm trying to.
You're like, "Eat,
Yeah,
get."
trying to eat, catch me. So I'm trying to catch up and figure out what the hell fuck he's singing. But anyway, when I first heard it, I was mesmerized. I'd never heard it. That's an awesome, powerful song. But only the song itself, because I heard the original recording, and the way you do it is different. So, but I mean, I was like, I was more. I don't know if he wants to. I mean, this guy. I don't know, but it was a beautiful.
Can we get a little sample of that?
Yeah.
At least the beginning. You know what? There's a guitar over
There's a
there.
guitar.
Let me get it for you. You get it. I got it. Okay. See, this
So
is.
while he's doing that,
Joe's gonna
have
pick
you worked with Beto Ramon?
Yeah, actually, Beto Ramon is my uncle.
No.
Yeah, he's my wife's uncle. So I'm married
Yeah.
to his niece.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we
Yeah, the two.
yeah we've
You get
we
everyone
met
to guitar, right?
sometimes we sang together and stuff like that. But I've never recorded for him or anything like that. But I think there's a time that
Yeah.
time is coming.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, he's a great. By the way, he just got a.
Couple of awards.
Yeah, he got I believe the Tejano songwriter of the year. This,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
yeah, he just.
Wow.
So I'm very proud of him.
We need
Was,
to bring him over.
Yes, he's a great guy.
Beto, you're
Talented,
listening. Get
talented.
your ass over here. We need to talk to you.
Yeah,
So yeah. I was gonna attend that award ceremony in San Antonio. As a matter of fact, it was the
Was it in San Antonio or was it here?
No, in San Antonio. It was the Memorial Day.
No. This guy didn't know either. It's actually-
He's talking over
It's actually annoying. Really annoying.
Yes. You want to see?
Yes,
it?
please.
Yo te extrañaré, tenlo por seguro. Fueron tantos bellos malos momentos que vivimos juntos. Los detalles, las pequeñas cosas que no parecen no importantes, fueron las que más invaden mi mente al recordarte. Ojalá, ojalá pudiera volver el tiempo para verte de nuevo, para darte un abrazo y nunca soltarte. Mas comprendo que llegó tu tiempo, que Dios te ha llamado para estar a su lado. Así él lo quiso, pero yo nunca pensé que doliera tanto. Y ya no llores por mí, estoy en un lugar lleno de luz, donde existe paz, donde no hay maldad, donde pueda descansar. No llores por mí, estaba yo aquí, nunca imaginé. Quiero que seas feliz, que te vaya bien, y cuando te toque partir, espero verte aquí.
Nice. Nice.
Ahora sí, y si vivimos.
My uterus is asking to you right now so bad. No, again, see what I mean?
Yeah.
See this? That's,
¿Qué se le está quitando? ¿Qué no se le-
oh, no. No, I forgot to tell you, it's at least 12 more songs, ready? No, this is, that's, I feel like the first time I heard, I had never heard it. But the way he sings it, look at that. That's a cheap ass, I mean, it's not what it used to.
Don't call him.
No, the guitar.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
a
was gonna
basic
say.
guitar. It's a basic guitar, and look what I mean. Again, guys, I don't have to say anymore. I mean, it's just this is what he is.
Proof
Yep.
is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is awesome. That's
That is
broadcasting.
awesome.
Pero ahora sí, y si vivimos.
Thing is,
It's one of my favorite hymns, man.
but this is not about you. Okay, si vivimos por favor. No. Do you mind? Do you have anything original?
No, to tell you the truth, one time I wrote a song, and that was when I was at LC. You know, when COVID hit, what happened was that programs,
Got cut, yeah.
they got cut. So I got cut from my job. So after that, I was like, what am I gonna do? I had the mortgage, I had my kids, like anybody else, right? So I said, what am I gonna do? So I started praying, and I said, you know what, God, what am I gonna do?
Right.
And I wanted to, be a band director and stuff like that, but the pay wasn't, enough, for me to sustain. So I said, what am I gonna do? So for a while, it was just, for weeks, I was just meditating. I said, Lord, tell me what I'm gonna do.
Talk to me.
Yeah. And then suddenly I just felt, I remember just feeling it. I don't know how to explain to you, but I just felt it in my mind, in my body, in my soul, everything it said. You're gonna do the same thing, but in your house. So I was like, okay. I just felt that peace. I just felt that I knew it was. So I said, you know what? Let me start giving phone calls. I'm gonna do this, do that. I'm gonna teach all the instruments, blah blah blah. In 3 weeks, I had about 60 students
Oh,
already.
wow.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I could pay my mortgage, I could pay my car loans, everything else.
Definitely.
But it was through the faith,
Of course.
Faith,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
and thank God. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been an adventure. So I could say that I live 100% in faith because I don't know what's coming tomorrow,
Yeah.
but I know it's something good.
That's true.
Wow.
So that's one of my things. I just live day by day, and I say, you know what, and I've been doing great. Thank God.
Speaking of un día a la vez, no, I'm just
See? So again, guys, look, you're not gonna find another podcast that's gonna have these type of talented people actors, musicians, and we got
Humble.
another and humble.
Humble.
Because Joe, as smart as he is, and as good as he doesn't come off as, I'm all that. No, in fact, same thing with Ruben, and that's what we wanna the message that we wanna showcase, that you
Yeah.
guys are
So true.
just normal people with exemplary talents. And before we let you go, well, actually, I don't want you to go yet. If you want to do anything else, we would love to hear something. If you got it, I don't want to put you in the spot, but don't get it. Come on, man. What is it, the funeral?
No, that one or si vivimos.
Sigues. I don't know.
Hey,
You got it?
Yeah, yeah.
Quítale el vaso.
Ese. Cruzando el valle voy hasta llegar allá a la mansión de luz, que soy feliz con mi Jesús. Ahí no habrá dolor ni llanto para mí. Ahí yo cantaré que soy feliz con mi Jesús. Y si vivimos, para Él vivimos. Y si morimos, para Él morimos. Sea que vivamos o que muramos, somos del Señor, somos del Señor. Sea que vivamos o que muramos, somos del Señor, somos del Señor, somos del Señor, somos del Señor.
Yes, sir.
Cállate, shut up. Oh, man. Wow.
That's awesome.
man.
Very nice.
Awesome. I can listen to that. Oh,
Yep.
that's a better song. That's a better song. So what's next for Ruben, man? What's on your mind? What's the big goal?
Well-
What's the big plan? I know you got something going. So
I have several things. I started doing a recording studios, and so I never thought, a friend of mine just invited me, say, you know what, can you help me out with the recordings and stuff like that? And, yeah, why not? So let's bring this instrument, bring this. Okay, let's do a mariachi. Okay, so I brought the guitarrón, vihuela, and stuff like that, trumpet. And then we started recording, and then the first thing is, the client would tell me, you know what, okay, se oye bien. Digo, so oíla. You want to hear it, and let's see if you like it. If not, we're good on that. So he heard it, he liked it. I said, you know what, I want to put it in the radio. I want to start putting this song on the radio. And I got very excited, you know what? And I told myself, I think this is something that I could do also. So, started doing the second song, started doing the third song. Right now it's like 100 songs that I've been recording. So I've recorded for a lot of locals, people. I recorded for Buki. I recorded for Selena's brother also.
Maybe.
Yeah, and so I'm recording for a lot of people from California, people from El Paso, people from all over.
Do you have your own, songs? I know you've been recording, but your own songs that you've been trying to put out on the radio? Because
You know what?
not really. Right now, my parents always tell me, hey, you've recorded for so many people, you've never recorded for yourself. It's just that I'm the type of person that I'm never satisfied with what I do, you know. And if I record, I say, you know what? Let me try it again. I didn't like it.
There's a gentleman that I know out of Florida. I don't know if you heard
Oh,
his
I'm
name,
sorry.
Jesse Villarreal. He's a songwriter, singer, also. He's already done several songs, and he has sent me
Okay.
songs to the radio station. So I'm actually, you know, putting out my services, our radio station. If you have anything, and if you don't mind, send it to us, and
Of
we'll put it
course.
out there. So
Of
people
course,
in the
yeah.
world
I
can
mean,
hear it.
I
It doesn't have to be Tejano, it can be Christian or what.
Yes,
whatever.
I record any style. You know, right now I'm recording a country song, which I put banjo, I put a fiddle, you know, keyboards, the steel guitar.
I had
you know.
this single already.
Look, if he'll play mine, he'll play yours. Trust me.
Definitely,
He-
definitely.
Yeah, Freddie has helped me out. In
Yeah.
fact, I think there's other radio stations out there that are doing it. So again, yeah, I mean, nothing surprises me when it comes to music. When you say you're doing this, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's awesome, man. I mean, like I said, it's really, it's a privilege to be able to see it live. Like, I mean, so basic and so raw. Because not everybody can do it. We've had other people, other artists, and say, you know, can you, and don't say it because it's not easy. You know, I mean, you know, yeah, if you mistake and whatever, but whatever's done, you know, at least because that's how confident you are. You know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you're never gonna do anything that you're not comfortable with or confident in. Like that song that Mojo suggested, the CBB one, right? I never heard it.
I never heard it.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. I didn't know if you knew it, but
Beautiful song. Wow.
It is.
Excellent.
I still like mine better. I still like mine better.
You're number one.
But we can always do La Lupana, whatever. What did you say? The other one? What's the other song?
I just said it's CBU.
No, that's another one.
Un día a la vez. That's a beautiful song too. Yeah.
That is.
That is a beautiful song.
Yeah. But no, but again, thank you so much, Ruben. Anything else you want to tell us about what you're doing or what you've done? I know that when you were at LC, you had a very interesting, you had a student there by the name of Michael. In fact, we were trying to bring him over. Michael Coronado, he was there for a bit. Mike, if you're listening, we want to invite him over so he can tell his story too. Again, we're talking about bringing out icons of Laredo, people that know who they are for what they do, and celebrate their talent and their time on this earth. Because we're not going to be here too much longer, man. I mean, whether it's through natural causes or the next World War, I mean, we're not going to be here too much longer, let me tell you. So, and I don't know if you noticed the heat. It's going to be a day where you're going to walk out and you're going to fry, literally. That's how bad things are getting with the earth. But hey, we don't want to listen. We don't want to take care of it. So, anyways, a whole different topic. Before you go, anything else you want to say?
No, I just wanted to say, thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be in front of you guys, and it's just something that I like to share. The talents and stuff like that. And more than anything, just be creative. Do whatever you can, especially at this age. I'm gonna be 53, and I'm starting my dream now at this age because before before that, working, the kids growing up. So you got to provide, and you got to be a father also. So at the same time, and a husband too.
So true.
And but I see now that my kids are already grown, and they can handle themselves. So I say, you know what? Now I think it's my time.
No, it's your time, yeah.
So in
it's
due season.
It's interesting you said the word create because the previous guest also said on the way out, create. Right? So those are artists right there. Those are real artists. To even think that way. Like, hey, develop, come up with an idea, come up with something original and put it out there, man. I mean, why not? And like I said, we don't know if one of Joe's performances have changed or touched someone's life that might be going through some hard time. We don't know if your songs have somebody about to pull the trigger and like, you know what?
True.
So just like you had that epiphany with what's next in my life after the COVID stuff, when you lost that position. But again, look what happened. Yeah, it took a while, but the architect,
reward.
the message got through, and you were paying attention. Because a lot of people, you know, again, we're not gonna get too religious because that's not what the show's about. But you know, you gotta have faith, and you gotta believe that there's a higher power. And sometimes the higher power wants to talk to you, and if you're not paying attention,
Yeah.
the message is gonna go by right through your head.
Very true.
So sometimes it's through a movie, a song, another person, a feeling, an idea, and if you might. How many times have we missed the boat? Honestly, because we were too busy worried about dumb stuff. You know?
I guarantee you that song he played reached somebody out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how
Definitely.
I came to know Christ. That's how I came to his feet, through music.
Through music,
That's
exactly.
how he reached me.
Yeah, but yours was at Studio 54. That's a different kind of knowing.
That's a different story. That's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast.
All right, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pause a little bit so we can get
One more
the.
song, man.
Okay.
El Alfarero, you know?
No.
Yeah, this is an
Let's
awesome
do mariachi.
song.
Let's do something
Well,
different.
that's mariachi, El Alfarero.
It's up to you. It's up to you, man. It's up to you. Or if you don't have that one, that's fine. What? Just,
I want to crush his heart.
Oh, okay.
Llore.
Okay,
El
llore.
Alfarero. It's beautiful song.
okay. All right.
Un día orando le dije a mi Señor, tú el alfarero y hoy el barro soy. Moldela mi vida a tu parecer. Haz como tú quieras, hazme un nuevo ser. Me dijo, no me gustas, te voy a quebrantar. Y en un vaso nuevo te voy a transformar. Pero en el proceso te voy a hacer llorar. Porque por el fuego te voy a hacer pasar. Pero quiero una sonrisa cuando todo va mal. Quiero una alabanza en lugar de tu quejar. Quiero tu confianza en la tempestad. Y quiero que aprendas también a perdonar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Amen.
Wow, that's awesome. You know anything other than Christian music, Bodo?
Not really.
No, right? Because he knows a lot.
I used to, but I traded.
That's awesome. That is really good. Again, whatever. Again, showcasing. This is raw talent. I know that you went to school and you had to have that formality.
Bueno, tú sos malagueña.
So, but just so you can get to doors open for work, whatever. But I guarantee you, man, that no music program, just like no fine arts program, teaches the raw talent that you guys have. The same thing with the group coming up. I mean, somebody had to guide you through it, but the talent is there.
Boy, did they need guiding.
Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But, all right, Ruben, thank you so much.
Thank you so
I wasn't
much for
expecting
inviting
all this, but thank you. You
Privilege.
just made this
Wow.
podcast, and,
You
Thank
just
you.
recharged me, man.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Awesome.
Thank
Hey, you want to kiss him later, or you want to do it?
Why are you getting jealous all of a sudden?
Because I've known you longer.
I'm the one that said through your microphone and you are.
All right, let's put it on pause. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Alright, guys, gather around the table, please. Always a pleasure. Always. Always. Yes. You sit here? Yeah. The guys, I really want to. I'll put my chair, no? Got it, man. Thank you so much. Tráiganse las 5 chairs, guys. Tráiganse las 5 chairs para tamarse para adentro. ¿Quién me falta? Pari. Hermano de Bull. Ah, carnal. No está, where do you want to be? Do you want to be on this side or on this side of Bull? Hey, I want to be where the cameras are pointing.
Dale,
Como drummer to a drummer, me dijo, este es exclusivo. ¿Tú quieres o no?
No, serious. No, está con madre. No, me cae mucho. Ay, ahora sí con los más feos de la noche. Welcome guys, welcome guys. All right. All right, so we're back guys, we're back. And before we get started with our last guest, and we're excited to have him, let me go ahead and we haven't talked about our sponsors. Oh,
What are those?
those are the ones paying the bills.
There you go.
So I guess Silverio Martinez, you know,
Eddie at law.
at Eddie, at Attorney at Law, if you get in trouble with the law, he is your guy. Whispers Bar and Grill, right? Again, I call it Laredo's little best kept bar. Awesome place to be at. Mariachi Mix for all your. Well, in fact, the new wrestling academy Laredo has is going to be held there. So we're going to be working on lucha libre, with character development, and a bunch of other stuff. In fact, we'll probably ask our next guest to one day show up and play there. So in front of because that's what we want to have live bands during these events. So Waterway Protection Services. It's if you need either private investigations or security officers, give them a call. Wick's Pizza, Wick, Eric. I know you're watching. You know we missed the pizza. You say we're gonna bring a pizza every freaking podcast. You fucking liar. You're like every other man in our lives, lying. So wait a minute.
You're sure, man.
No.
Now you're talking normal, aren't you? Speak for yourself. That's why I love Bojo. But Mariachi Mezcal de Tejas, you know, we are mariachi. We're Laredo's number 2 mariachi because all the other mariachis think they're the number 1. So screw you all. You're number 1. You're number 1. Classic Cats. It's a bunch of old farts. In fact, there's a drum set in this place where we practice. It's all 70s, 80s, 90s music. A bunch of oldies.
Featuring the most okayest drummer.
The most okay. You see that shirt? Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So I need to get Bojo one of that shirt. The world's okayest drummer.
No, but he knows how to play the
No, he actually doesn't want to play the drum.
He went to school.
You know what? Fuck you and fuck him. Both of you.
I'm just saying, man, why you hating?
And then Tejano Express Radio, of course, Fred here. He's the one that started us off with all this technical stuff, and we
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yep.
So without further ado, we have one of the most experienced, I would say, conjuntos in the area. Not only because of
Probably
who they
the-
are now, but where they're coming from. And we got 4 of all the members here. We're gonna let them.
There's like 300 years of experience.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of, and that's just on Bojo.
On Bojo's.
On Bojo's.
That's Bojo himself.
And I was just talking about you, though.
Again, so anyway, so Bojo, I want you before we get started. Bojo 2, not you.
You know what? I can't say, but when we were little, he was little Bojo.
Well, there's nothing
But
little about that.
he outgrew that very,
Yeah.
very quick. So, we would hang out. It was a little Bojo, like, my now is just,
No, it's not little Bojo. Well, so
No mas.
little Bojo, let's tell them real quick where'd you start learning how to play drums. Just say it.
Dude, I can.
Who did you go to and say, can you show me?
Yeah, man. You want me to go all the way to the very beginning, dude? I would.
Very big.
Pots and pans, bote de basura.
Okay,
whatever.
after that.
I had to get paint.
Yeah. And then after that, pues, TJ would play drums también. I would go to him, and then I have my cousin.
And now he
would
kicks
try.
my ass big time because I just started playing last year.
Yeah.
I literally grabbed. That was like a show off set at the store, and I remember him like. And I was all proud. Okay, y'all do this.
Baby's
Now I was like,
first drum
shit.
set.
Now I have to go do it. Can you?
Yeah, you get a snapshot. It's baby's first drum set.
Yeah. Again, you know what, Laredo? Thank you for watching the show. Today's Bojo's last show. But anyway, so
He's moving on to bigger and better.
yeah. Yeah. So you want to join the other podcast?
The Punkcast.
The Punkcast. That's the Punkcast. All right, we're gonna start out with Bojo 2. Let you introduce yourself. Let you introduce the band members. And I'm really in love with you guys. They've been here a little bit. Son gente, and again, just like the other guests, they're not conceited in any way. They do what they do because they love it, and it's raw talent. And let's go, Bojo, take it away.
First of all, thank you guys for having us here. I represent the drummer for Conjunto Dream. This is a project that I'm working with right now but the main dude is Erasmo Jr.
The most quietest one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Just wait.
Well, wait.
Pass that bottle around and let's see what happens.
He's nervous right now, so I'm
the nightmare.
I'm kind of breaking the ice, but him and Charlie are the originals, the Conjunto Dream. They started it off a while back, so we'll get to that ahorita. Yo, pues I mean, the people that know me, I've been drumming for 34 years, on and off with different bands. Gracias, I've been up and down, recorded many CDs and stuff like that. And ahorita, pues I'm super privileged to be playing with these guys. I mean, I love what we have, the project, el producto, the vibe. You know, we play live music, we cook out together, we go eat together, we do everything together, which is something that I can actually tell you straight up, man. There's not a lot of bands that will do that, and we keep it familia style all the way through and through. You know, and this is one of the reasons why I love playing with these guys. Amaro, he's like another big brother to me, and I can honestly tell you that in front of my big brother that's sitting next to you guys. You know, he's always been with me we've been together playing music for like about 20 years now, and we recorded several CDs together, and we're still at it. That's how it goes, we're still at it. And Charlie, Charlie desciende también de músicos pesados. So you guys are going to get to meet him, and like I said, we're super excited to be here with you guys. Your podcast is awesome, and we know it's going to keep growing, and we know that the people that are actually out there listening, you know, that you guys are giving the locals a chance to for us to highlight, show you guys what we're about and stuff like that. I mean, hay demasiado talento en Laredo que mucha gente no conoce.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Absolutely.
That's a very true statement, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to showcase the regular, just the everydayers, the everyday raw talent. Again, we heard it a lot in the beginning. There's nothing to do in Laredo. Laredo's boring, whatever. Well, because people don't come out of the shell. They don't come out of the same shit. They don't experience different things. And the thing is that, just like I told Joe and I told Ruben, we want to showcase you guys while you're alive. We don't want to say, I don't know you guys, but they were awesome. No, bullshit. When you're dead, who cares? It's now. Let's talk now. Let's let everybody know who you are now. So, if you want to share the mic a little bit, let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll get back to the history.
Let me pass it on here too. We call him Mito, but he's Erasmo. Ya no tiene nada de Mito.
You mentioned before he says anything, but fun fact before Mito, I met him as, well, I didn't meet him, but I saw him as Mito.
About that small.
So, his dad was my accordion teacher.
Oh, wow.
So every time I would go over, I was blessed to go over to his house, to their house, with his dad, Erasmo Sr. And so every time a student would come in, it's like, all right, something. Then we'd see him running out. He had like a little accordion. He had something like, I guess he was practicing in there. And every time I went, I was like, I'd see a little kid run out. And I go, that was him.
Now he comes out with a vacuum cleaner.
That's rude,
No, I mean, I don't know why he does it.
But
It is rude.
so I know they call him Mito, but I remember him as Erasmito.
Oh,
Erasmo.
When I would get lessons from his dad.
Awesome.
Anyway, proceed.
Too
Sorry.
bad
Fun fact.
Nah, that was what, a long time ago. ¿Qué año era?
No, I mean, it's like early 90s. So.
It was a while back.
No, pues yo soy Erasmo Benavides Jr., el accordion player singer de Conjunto Dream. Got Amaro Gutierrez on bajo, Charlie Riojas on bass, y pues el Bojo on drums.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get, like in 2 weeks, we're gonna be ya un año juntos.
Wow.
Nice.
Really? That long already?
As a group, but
As-
as friends before that.
Yeah, you got years.
Amaro, and then he used to play with my dad, and I was about that small. And my uncle Joe, en paz descansen los dos.
Wow.
Back in, ¿qué eran los late 80s, 90s, early 90s?
Probably every night.
Yeah, somewhere in the 90s por allá.
Ya no le conviene decir nada. I don't know. I don't want to date myself.
The 19 throw it away, making me feel old.
You're making me feel old.
I don't know. Tatangelo was still the mayor.
I don't know. I played for when the day Jesus was alive again. I played back then. But
He played outside of Woolco.
Yes.
Which reminds me, we started to do that way back
Yep.
show
Yep.
when I'm bringing a bunch of these, what was it?
All the old business businesses in Laredo.
Quick
Yeah,
Bakery,
that's what I'm
all that
trying.
stuff.
Glasses,
As a matter of fact,
all
you know,
those guys.
Kroger.
Yeah.
I was told that we have a lady. You remember the Fosters, right?
Yeah.
They're still around. So there's a lady that goes back, way back, to where downtown was booming, streets of Laredo were dirt and all that. But I'm gonna try to see if we can get her
Wow,
so
that'd be
she
awesome.
can talk
That'd be awesome.
about Laredo way back in the 1800s.
I don't know what's more impressive, to bring that kind of person, like, that knows and heard of all that, or all the fucking English you just fucking said. I don't know what's more.
You were in
I'm like,
there.
I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
I was
You don't make yourself, man. I'm like the Mexican Nora.
You were in
I was over
there?
here like going like
Yeah, I'm like, what the?
I was like, how's he doing
I'm like,
that?
who's this gringo?
How's he
And
doing
my
that?
hands up his ass.
I'm like, that's not playback.
A little.
It sounded a little.
Wow, that was impressive, man.
Yeah, that's his
No.
move.
Follow me works. Follow me works. So, okay, so let's talk. So you play bajo
I play bajo and guitar.
and guitar.
And guitar and bass a little bit.
Okay, awesome.
But my first love was drums, believe it or not.
Really?
I used to go a Salonata, West Texas.
Nice.
And we used to get those fertilizing cans, the fertilizer.
Yeah, yeah,
Turn
yeah.
them back.
Turn them upside down.
But man, I didn't have it for drums. I liked it, but I don't have it for guitar or bajo either.
You feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
But it pays the bills.
Bill.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
It pays on Whataburger.
Yeah, I have seen pictures of you guys. Well, you know what? You should become a sponsor for Whataburger.
No kidding.
No salen de ahí.
The number 7, the Bojo.
Whataburger, Kings.
The number 12, el mito.
I'll have a mito with cheese.
All the onions.
All the onions.
Hey, llegas a Whataburger, can I have the Bojo special?
Okay, yesterday was National
That's right. National Hamburger
Would
Day.
you like to serve by him? Aquí está. Ahí está.
Nate, so I didn't know yesterday was National what?
Hamburger Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I honored that day by going to.
Amado would know that. He loves cheeseburgers, though.
Oh,
That's your thing.
Yeah, he's like, man, I don't mind if we don't get paid as long as we get Whataburger.
We'll pay for Whataburger.
for Whataburger.
Fun fact. I'm gonna do
There you
that.
go.
So
Opioid.
the 2 tours in Afghanistan, I don't remember, but I do remember craving a Whataburger so fucking bad. I even wanted someone to send it to me. I didn't care. It came in all green, and I just wanted to see the wrapping at least. Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of a burger in Afghanistan, fun fact. The one offer. No, seriously, it's weird how you guys know how Dairy Queen's in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Only in Texas? Wrong.
Nope.
They're in Afghanistan also.
Yep.
Yep.
I was like, what?
I saw McDonald's. I saw.
Subway, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
okay.
But
Believe it or not.
Dairy Queen.
Well, I don't know about now,
Afghanistan.
but at least when we were there, I don't know about now.
Well, there's nothing going on in Afghanistan.
No, what I'm saying is I don't know if you
Jeez.
stayed.
Your president missed that up.
Jesus Christ. Can we do some more English?
Yeah, bueno.
Let's go, Carlos Colenda.
No, watch this. Who remembers Carlos Colendas here?
I've never been to.
They don't?
No,
Mito?
that's Colenda.
Mito, you don't?
These guys make us feel old.
I
bro.
know, right?
The electric company?
Oh my
Hello?
God.
Just
yeah.
last
Yes.
week, I was sitting down and I was looking at Charlie. I'm like, fuck, dude, you
Look at
you're
your
10
brown
years
hair.
younger than me, dude. Like,
But it's okay. It's okay. In a year, keep it up with you fuckers. In a year, it's gonna look like you.
Transformation is
¿Cómo me decías, carnal? Como me ves, te verás,
Te verás.
or something like that.
Como te ves, me veía.
Ándale.
Como me ves, te verás.
There you go.
Yeah.
So true.
Pre-Viagra. Pre-Viagra. So, all right. So, accordion, right? Accordion and lead voice. All right. Have you always been
No,
playing
man,
accordion?
it's Vito, bro, not accordion.
My first instrument was actually drums.
También.
También, yeah.
Yeah.
Y también.
Another real
If
drummer in the
I'm
house.
correct, my mom has pictures así chiquillos con fotos de.
También.
Well, I mean, the fun fact about drums is that as a kid, it's one of the instruments that you get to
Ándale.
Yeah.
bang. So
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
gets into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Kid wants to play
I
drums.
don't
Yeah,
know,
actually-
but
actually, you're right.
I think we actually have pictures of this dude also banging on paint cans.
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome, like, for your next cover, like on the back, already when you were kids.
Yeah, it will.
You were musically inclined, you have pictures of that, like, but even back then?
Yeah, take pictures.
So yeah,
Sample, do we
man.
have any other music on?
No, as a matter of fact, I was talking about it to Bojo. And,
Well, it
We
just so
actually-
happens that I do have some.
Oh.
You guys want a sample, Laredo?
Dale.
Oh, that's right.
Ahora.
Shitty,
Tan,
shitty DJ.
The little rascal. I remember TJ would always sing that song. That's with our camarada, but that's us, but that's with Tornado.
That's what
okay.
Bueno, the thing is que all of us we help other groups.
Right.
So right there, if I'm correct, it's me on bass, Charlie on bajo, Bojo on drums, y el camarada Tornado, saludos a Tornado.
Tornado, yeah.
Apoyen.
Which was the other gentleman you guys met,
Yeah.
Chaparrito.
Sí, yeah.
He's a hell of a musician.
It's not about that small también.
Yeah, he's gonna be in our show. It's
Yeah,
kinda-
Tornado was supposed to be
Yeah.
here, I think this week.
Yeah, this
He's gonna
week.
make it, he's gonna try to be here next week.
Yeah, no, hombre. He's been around too, man, and he's a great musician.
We actually went to school together.
Really? Ah.
A la South. Hey, we were actually texting cuando fue like 2 days ago. Hey, remember quién sabe qué te otro?
So we started with Tornado started with si te pones los tenis y quieres correr cuando te los están comprando en Payless, eres rica. So we started with that, man. Y si vas a
It went on
We just went on and on and
After
on.
a while, 200 and some texts later, man, we're like, all right, guys, we need to cut it out. Si comiste baloney con eres rica, es fried bologna, eres rica.
So we
Round steak.
El Mexican round sticks.
So remember we went at it y Tornado came up with that. Que when we were back in '99, he was the accordion player, I was the drummer, and he had a camarada that played bass. He didn't play conjunto, he played rock.
Oh,
Oh,
How
yeah.
did we do it? Quién sabe back then. So yeah, we went to school together in '99.
So what school was it?
United South.
Ah.
It's
been getting worse. We went from United to Cigarroña, Cigarroga, whatever.
La verdad es que yo no fui a esos.
But anyway,
So-
in case you didn't know where we were going, so what year did you graduate? What year did you get out of there?
03.
What year was you supposed to get out of there?
99, pero se dio 03.
1995, but I got out at
He
03.
went from 11th grade to principal.
El 03.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So again, but you all started doing rock, right? And then
No,
back in the day,
we were doing conjunto.
Oh, back
Pero,
in
pero, pero, el bass player, pues,
Oh, got it. He was
era
on.
camarada
Yeah.
y pues he wanted to play whatever. ya-
In other words, es todo lo que había. En ese
Yeah.
entonces.
Oh, yeah.
Es lo que hay, es lo que hay.
En ese
I didn't
tiempo.
want to say that, pero era peor que nada.
Si toca el bass, vete, ¿verdad?
Hey, so remember we were doing little gigs here and there, y luego dice Tamaya, we're gonna have a talent show ahí en la high school. Pues órale, vamos a darle. Well, we went at it, we played. If I remember, it was 3 songs. There's one that I don't remember. La otra era Totonilco, la polka,
Ajá.
y Tragos Amargos.
Oh.
Okay, back then.
Esa nos dio al first place.
Awesome. So when you have little victories like that, it motivates you, right, to keep on going and do something else. Like even now, as many years as you all been playing, you still wanna. If it doesn't work out with a group, hey, screw it. Let's find somebody else that brings some. And now you can tell that you guys. I mean, just looking at them, you can tell that you guys are tight.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
the older we get, bro, every time we finish a gig, we're like, este batito, bro, and que set up, and que, it's getting old. You know, don't forget, we got a gig next week. Está bueno. It's one of those, man.
and let me tell you, being a drummer, dude, it sucks when it comes
What
to
do you
getting-
know about that?
Shut the hell up. It
They're
sucks
they're
because
drummers.
he picks up their, the little accordion, whatever, let's go. Bojo's over there still trying to figure out how
No,
to, what am I going to carry first?
Actually-
but if they help out,
No, they do, bro.
which is badass.
They do.
That is badass
Right.
because it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Because if you're not ready, the group's not ready. so-
Actually, with them, like my drum kid es el que primero que sale out the door y luego ya empezamos a guardar lo demás.
Yeah. Good. So that's another awesome thing. So look, you guys are gonna be successful, not so much because of the talent, but because of the way you guys work with each other.
Right.
That is the secret right there. I don't care how good you are, if you guys are not working together,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work. It'll last a little bit and then it's gonna go, you're just gonna
They're
be
already
another.
successful, they made it as their guest.
That's right, I forgot about that.
You know, I thought about it, man, and I thought, no, pues, that, you know, son camaradas, they're helping out, you know, the secret was, no, es que pues, hasta más viejito que nosotros. We're trying to conserve you.
No,
Sabemos qué va a pasar mañana.
tú eres el más viejito. I'll be like up to your left as a
No, and the word is vintage.
Vintage, that's right.
Or classic, but
Old
vintage.
school, old school.
You know, they were saying that, you know, some of us age like wine. I'm aging like milkweed. I mean, it's not pretty at all. Más carne, cheese, que la chingada. Don't make me show you my ass. But anyway, guys. So what are you guys working on right now that Laredo needs to know? Besides the 1 year anniversary coming up, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But new music, and new projects, what's coming up?
But we have 4 songs that ahorita that we're working on, and we're working with buen amigo Abel Martinez de Cumbiatron. Saludos a Abel.
Abel.
And so he's the one recording us. So we're pretty much working hand in hand with Mastermind Music, which is
Mastermind.
the record label. And but we have 4 songs, Gabito?
Yeah, for
Yeah, we got 4 songs.
3 rancheras and 1 cumbia.
3 rancheras and 1 cumbia.
Nice.
And como te digo, pues, I mean, it takes a while, dude. I mean,
They're almost done.
they're almost done. Ya nomás faltan los drums, guitar, bass.
The singer.
No. Yeah, pues Charlie's done with his part, with the bass. Amaro's done with his part. And falta Mito, nomás le faltan el accordion.
So let me ask you this. So a lot of people don't understand how bands record.
Yeah.
Back in the day, everybody would come in together and
Yeah.
do it together. We got away from that because
Sangre como sangre.
exactly. Back in the day. So
Yes.
so every band does it differently. I've recorded with mariachi and we do it by instrument. How do you guys do it? What's your formula for that? Who starts first? Is it the bass? Is it the drum?
Actually, we create what we call a pista, which is everybody.
Got it.
So it's like, okay, we're gonna do a decir,
Right.
I don't know, qué song, Gato Tonico, right? So okay, do it. Oh, bueno, let's do it. We either use a metronome or we don't, like for the timing. We choose not to because we like to keep it as pure as possible.
One thing I will say about you, Bojo, because you recorded that one song for me. You don't need a metronome. You're very good at the rhythm.
He's a time nut.
He is.
Time's not
Time not seen.
I will say because even I, you know, I get all excited and we're playing with him. I'm the youngest in the class of cats, and you can imagine. You know what? Again, thank you guys for showing up. It's conjunto wet dreams. So no. What I'm saying is that so I get excited and I start going faster, and the guys are like, "Hey, slow it down." It's because I haven't played as much, but I'm hearing you play throughout the years.
Picture animal.
Yeah.
From the Muppets.
Sometimes you wear that wig, that long wig. You'll be anyway. So, but no. So I will give you that credit. I know I've heard you, and it's like you have the timing is awesome. So anyway, so y'all
So we're
basic
fine.
pista, and
Yeah,
then from there.
and then from there we dissect. So ya sea la pista, you know, from beginning to end, and we're happy with the timing and everything. Then we start doing the one by ones.
Got it.
First, no, casi siempre bass.
Yes.
Lay down
And then
lay
other-
down the bass. El conjunto bass is it's important.
It is God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the last thing is the voice, correct? I would imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a basic formula for developing music. I've seen some groups that just like when I recorded one of the mariachi songs, they just wanted the vihuela to start. It was just vihuela because the vihuela represents the drums.
Right.
Right. And then everything else kicked in. In fact, Ruben just played the violin on that piece, but it was different. Now Ruben came in and elevated to another level, man. That guy, and you know him. That guy's a musical genius, man. That guy, it's sickening how good he
Learn
is.
and play jazz,
No,
everything.
whatever you want, he'll play. And when he
Real
said
humble
50,
guy,
no,
man.
he is. He's down to earth. And 50 instruments is probably too low. I guarantee he plays more. he just threw it out there, but I was telling him how good he was at the air triangle.
Yeah.
Awesome. He did the shit out of the solos and shit. It's awesome. But, okay, so 4 songs out. Let me talk to you real quick. How did you get started?
I got started, man, I started playing when I was young with my uncle Tony Rubio.
Okay.
So, man, I was probably about this big. And I
About
had
that
a
big.
play amp that was like probably this big with tons of lights. And I started playing con todas las luces bending everywhere. So,
But what did you start playing?
I started playing guitar when I was small. And then he showed up at my house one day with a bass taller than I was.
Oh.
Learned to play the bass with an amp that big I couldn't carry for the life of me.
Like a refrigerator.
Sí. Ayúdame, por favor. So I started with the bass and then picked up the guitar, the bajo sexto, and the accordion after that and stuff like that. So just little by little.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And you know what? The hard part about being musicians, guys, is that
The drugs.
besides that,
The girl.
The booze.
The late
I'm
nights.
trying to have an adult conversation.
The Whataburgers.
The Whataburger.
The Whataburgers.
Those Whataburgers.
It's addicting. It's addicting. Like, come on, guys. One drive-through. Come on, please.
Ahorita double meat.
Yeah, you good?
Se despide usted, se locutor por accidente.
You want me to leave? Yeah.
No, al rato, ahorita que acabemos. So, no, what I'm saying is that you wanna, if you could do this full time, you would.
Oh,
But
yes.
unfortunately, we have families, we have jobs, so, and then that's what makes it even harder. So, but it also makes it, that's what she said, it makes it harder. But
I wasn't
also,
saying anything.
but it also makes it more special because with the limited time, what you're doing,
But don't answer yet.
can you imagine if you were there full time? I mean,
Yeah.
it would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the development of new music, you know, refining the old stuff, it would be awesome. And that's a challenge that we all have, you know, that you cannot be 100% dedicated to your craft. So it does say a lot. When you do have those 2-3 hours at the end of the day and you're exhausted, you're away from home, you know, the girlfriend, the wife, whatever, giving you shit because you're at home, you know, and then Peter Chris comes to mind. You know, girl, I hear you calling, right? But that
I'll never sing that again. I'll never sing Kiss, please. That's my favorite band.
But don't keep
You
Ruben
just-
Vargas was his favorite
you
band.
just murdered-
A little while
you
ago,
just murdered-
a little while
I know.
Ruben Bojorquez, a little while ago.
You just murdered Ben.
De repente.
Bad interpretation.
Whatever. Jealous. So anyway, okay, so what are the plans? Well, where would you guys like to take this group? Because look, when y'all play with other groups, y'all wanted to take that group somewhere.
Right.
And for whatever reason, call it destiny, call it whatever, it didn't work. But this group here and the vibe that you guys are throwing out, which is awesome, where do you want to see Conjunto Dream go?
I'll let Mito answer that one. I mean, this is Mito's.
He hasn't said anything yet.
I mean, this is Mito's vision and stuff like that, and they both started it back in 2008, and then they paused it, and then they just restarted
Yeah.
again. So
We started back in 08, 09, pues ya sabes, things happening.
Yeah.
We cut it off y luego otra vez, I started around the 18, 19
And then COVID.
y luego vino COVID, so no se echaron de ese pelos COVID.
No, ama, no me eché.
Sorry, mom.
Nada, también pasó COVID y no, pues ya, whatever. Y luego, about a year ago, me encontré con Charlie otra vez and we were talking about it. And we started, y luego pues acá Amaro también. Y we were looking for a drummer. Y que sí, que no, a ver qué. Y luego, no, pues está mucho, pues dale gas. So we would practice on our own y le mandamos el video.
Oh, okay.
So our first gig, no habíamos practicado con drums.
No.
No habíamos
Oh, ya
practicado.
got
I have it on tape.
Wow.
Ya, ahí está un video que estamos los tres.
That was a fun gig though,
Y
man.
se la
As a
mandamos a
matter
Ro.
of fact,
Y salió.
You know, he just showed his age again. He goes, I have it on tape.
VHS.
it's okay, we're
And it's
gonna,
real.
we're gonna edit that
Amaro,
out.
ya, es que ya está about that old.
Let me take a picture.
Oye, ¿sí o no?
I can't lie about my age. tape because someone knows.
Yeah. Vintage.
He said something
Vintage.
like, you get me out of this conversation.
Wow.
So our first,
So he has the tape.
our first gig, bro, that we did, it was at House, and it was fun porque pues no habíamos practicado as a unit, nomás como dijo Mito. It's just, hey, ahí te van las rolas, this is it, que estaban. Right, Oye, pues llegamos, no había monitors.
Oh.
So we're like, Amaro,
No practice with drums. Y luego
No monitor.
Amaro starts spacing. Hey, wait, my monitor's güey.
I need to get this on tape.
And we're like, are we rolling?
Es que están allá atrás.
Déjalo.
So, and then, that was the first time I actually jammed with Charlie. And that night, just a boom. There was other bands there, and we were just going in, como quien dice, a lo que le llamamos palomazo, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And we weren't really featured in the lineup, pero no, que cállate, que venga, okay, está bueno. But we go, and they're like, man, why do you invite bands?
Yeah.
So, that was, which is a good thing for us.
Yeah, the first time out.
Yeah, and we were able to impress, Laredo for our first time. We did pretty good. It's about, even though we all had the idea what we wanted to do, you still gotta find that el tiempo. You gotta find the chemistry. Ideas are always floating around. Empiezas a, y apenas, man, como dice Nito, we're going in a year next week. Next week be a year, and I think it took us almost a whole damn year, right, bro, to actually get us to, this is it. This is what we want. This is the timing. This
Get our
is
timing down.
Yeah, this is Mito. He's kind of special on no special ed now.
Nobody said anything.
No.
We weren't thinking about it.
No, honestly, I was.
That's why.
We have some billboards too.
No, pero he's tiene sus ideas, and so it takes a while to actually
Yeah,
put it
together,
together,
yeah.
man. And ahorita that's what's been working for us when we go and play. A la gente le gusta la onda because it's what we try and call it pocket timing.
There we go.
And let me tell you, the challenge for you guys is because Conjunto Music en Laredo is a dime a dozen. There's chingos of bands out there.
Yeah.
But for you guys to stand out,
Yes.
you have to do, first of all, have that chemistry, that special unity as a unit, and then perform, even if it's the same song in a different style, that people can still say, oh, I feel like I just learned it or heard it for the first time in my life.
And
So that's hard.
And let me tell you something about, I've been playing for a long time, but I told these guys that I have a lot of respect for Conjunto because it took me 30 plus years to actually feel comfortable and say, I want to play Conjunto
Right.
now. Because for years I played Tejano, for years I played cumbias, and that was what I was doing over and over and over, country and all that, but no entraba al conjunto because I knew que el conjunto, muchos dicen, es que nada más chunta. No.
No, those are the ones that don't know about music.
No.
The ones that say boom, pa, boom, now.
Yeah,
It sounds
the
like
ignorant
that
will
to
tell
the
you that.
ear.
Yes, the ignorant will tell you that. Even drummers get in, but back to no,
Yeah.
hell no.
No.
So
No.
in order for me, pa no aventarme, it took me so many years hasta que went. So it was like a calling cuando me habla Maro and say, hey, you want to help us out in a gig? I'm like, with who? With Mito. What? Yeah, he's getting a project going. Well, what is it? Conjunto. Hometown Boy, Tony La Rosa. Shit, I'm in it. I felt I was ready for it, man.
Right.
And then
After all the years of previous
Yeah.
different genres.
Oye, 30 años después apenas ando conociendo músicos de Laredo, bro.
Yeah.
Because I've always been to myself. I don't know a whole lot of musicians.
Yeah.
Hasta ahorita, I'm
You're out there.
yeah, ando conociendo. They're barely knowing who I am, and
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, but
After all these years, yeah.
it's kind of cool at the same time. you
Well,
know?
it is because no one can say you didn't put in the work.
Oh, yeah,
You
no, I
didn't put in
yeah.
your time.
Yeah, and,
So
I still do, man. Bro, I got my drum set as a
como si fueras a find my living room, dude.
Yeah.
En mi casa, su casa, man. Y entras y lo
What's the
primero que
address?
ves-
It's next to a Waterbury.
It's actually close by.
It's on the way.
What a coincidence.
We call it the bear cave. Ahí practicamos y ahí grabamos en mi casa.
Oh, nice.
Y luego acabamos de está bueno, pues it's like 7 blocks from there.
They actually eat there maybe once a week or sometimes twice a week. We go.
Yeah, we go.
Your cardiologist must love you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the younger guys. Pero para allá van, sí. No, that's awesome. And again, these are the real life stories that people, want to hear. I mean, again, look, let me ask you this, Bojo, and I know folks in here and I'll talk to the guys. Which one of y'all can read music?
Read?
No.
Yo no.
Any of y'all? I bet you know, right?
No.
Thank you. Because we
You're
always
fired.
have
You're all fired.
we had this argument with other groups, with other artists. In Ruben's case, of course, he reads music.
He says he writes it.
No, he writes it. So,
Next level, that's
so,
next level.
so my hats off to that.
Yes.
But I've also seen people that sight read. That if you take that sheet away from them, they're dead.
Yeah, they're dead in the
So,
water.
but the best artist, in my opinion, is the one that can do both. But I'd rather have this than this. I'd rather learn how to, because you can give me any song, just give me the key. And if I know the genre, I can, even if I've never heard it, I can follow you. I'll play it. But if you give me sheet music, you might as well give me Chinese because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
When I was in middle school, mi dad era camarada del band director, and he put me in the band.
Bad.
I started learning for percussion, pero I don't know, it was just hard for me. No que no le entendía.
Not your interest.
I couldn't focus on
Yes,
the
it wasn't
paper.
your interest.
Era más oído.
Yes.
Y una vez after school, on a Monday, I think it was Friday, we went to a competition, I don't remember. He told my dad, he said, hey, I don't remember what he told him, but it was something como, hey, he's not paying attention to the paper, I don't know what. What am I gonna do? I mean, you're the director, blah, blah. Like, oh, but he goes through the whole song.
Yeah.
Without
reading the paper.
Yeah.
It's like every single whatever goes.
Yeah.
like,
So let me tell you a quick backstory. I get to Lamar and I wanted to be in the band. And I get there my first day. And shut up. Mr. Luna gives me a trumpet. He gives me a trumpet. Again, fuck you.
Buenas noches.
So he gives me a trumpet, and I signed up for percussion. So I go, what's this? So you're gonna give me another one so I can use them as drumsticks? What am I gonna do? No, all the drums are done. Well, I wanted to put the little family members. So I walked straight into the counselor's office, and that was my whole story. I'm like, there goes the band.
Yeah.
So, but again, everything happens for a reason,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
So again, all of us in this room together, even Joe. Thank you, Joe, for still being here. I love. Of course, he already has like 10 drinks in it.
Stop snarking them out, man.
Ahorita we gotta wake him up and put his pants back on.
Call Uber.
So anyway, so us being here is not by chance. I'm telling you right now, because I think we had talked about you coming over before this, or we talked about this date, how it came up.
Yeah.
I mean, again, so everything. So take advantage of what you have, guys.
Yeah.
This group here, I really hope it has longevity and it goes places. I'll tolerate it. Get out here, get out and go put your style on the map outside Laredo. Yeah, you're gonna do it here, but the market. In fact, in that recording that you helped me out with, Bojo,
Why did you do it?
I kind of. When you have a gun too, you're gonna do it. So my point is that at the end of it, I say Laredo is the new make of Tejano. So maybe not Tejano, but anything having to do with Latino style music. I want Laredo to be known for that. Just like San Antonio back in the day was known as the Tejano capital of the world. That went away for whatever reason. And there's a lot of artists that are trying to keep it alive, but they're having trouble.
Well, little did you know, I mean, I told you, man, your song made it all the way to San Luis
Yeah,
Potosí.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
They have it over there.
And that's what I told TJ when I first started with the radio station. I wanted to open doors to the new artists,
Yeah.
new groups, not just in Laredo, but whoever is wanting to take that chance. I got
Except
people
DJ.
coming from New Mexico sending music to me.
Oh, really? Wow.
So-
So the song that's in, where did this San Luis Potosí?
Yeah.
We're using it to shut dogs up when they're working. So we put that-
Yeah, I know there's something else behind
Fuck you.
it. De nuevo, se despide la
Ese despido Müller, ese es- Y no se va, güey.
Oh yeah, it's a shout out to the radio station. It's Orale Mi Raza Radio.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
San Luis, awesome.
It's
Thank
San
you,
Luis
guys.
Potosí.
Thank you for-
They
Apparently,
they
they have a
actually
taste in music.
the owner, the owner, she's a DJ, la DJ Tejanita. So she has part of your song as her intro.
Really?
So when I hear it, I'm like, what?
How much are you paying for that, DJ?
I'm like, you got Kaya in your intro, and you say, yeah, I do. I'm like, yeah, but that's my camarada. I recorded drums right
Is
there.
she hearing challenged?
That's my camarada TJ. And he said, oh yeah, pues I know. So they know, they have it by name and everything. I'm like, hala, I mean, small world. I
In a
mean,
small role, yeah.
yeah.
The first trans singer.
Hey, Bojo, why don't you color your beard like your older sister over here? Man? He thinks he's fooling us with his brown beard. Cálmate, ahorita. Mira, si le quito la camisa de brasier, güey, está todo blanco aquí, güey. Todo blanco. Pero ahorita, mira, deja tú, se quitó la cachucha. I didn't know he was Jewish, güey.
The Jewish homie.
Oh,
But anyway, so look, I know that you guys are, and thank you so much for the freaking
Yeah,
tabs. and
thank you
stuff.
so much.
Who came up with the logo? This logo was badass.
That's
It is
one of
really
our
nice.
6 logos that we have.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
That's the classic. This is the classic logo that we use for our, a lot of events, and then we have one that we use with that tiene, skulls for. We did a Harley Davidson event.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so now we have several, man. We got different logos. Ethan was like, we need a logo. And he's like, damn. All right, we got 6 logos now.
Which one? All of them.
Well, this is really nice. And I like the colors are awesome.
Yeah.
They're right in your face, what you want. So we are planning, hopefully, we haven't talked this in a while,
yeah, I know.
a telethon.
Yes.
So we're gonna invite you guys to come.
Yeah.
We haven't decided on a cost yet. We're more inclined towards helping veterans and other stuff. But we want to do a 24-hour. We'll start out with a 24-hour, just like Jerry Lewis used to do it back in the
Yeah,
day.
you gotta be Jerry
And
Lewis.
I'll be Jerry Lewis.
All right, cool.
And but if we can, if you guys are available, we would love to have you on and help us do the fundraising.
Anything that has to do to help out Laredo or any good cause, I can actually speak for all the guys.
Yeah.
You can count.
We appreciate that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Down for it.
Thank you so much.
So today's been a day of people with good talent, awesome talent, with
Creativity.
very
Humble heart.
yes, and that's to me that makes me want to talk to you again. It makes me want to promote you,
Of course.
because anybody that we haven't had anybody yet though that comes in with an attitude, which I appreciate that.
People, guests like you guys and all the guests that we've been blessed with that are humble, gives life to this podcast.
Yes.
Because that's what this podcast is for. Yes. You contributing, showing up, when you don't even ask anything, that will be there, whatever, that says a lot. So that you guys continue to give, longevity to the podcast. People are listening, they're tuning in, and they're getting to know who you are. Really who you are.
Yes.
They're not just gonna go hear you at Jalapeno, oh, it's going to drink, and they just hear you play.
Yeah.
But they don't even hear who you are.
Right.
So, I mean, I can tell you, from this guy being like with the million different groups, this is like one of the happiest when he's been with.
Yeah, I know, and that's,
So-
I've seen it with other
It
groups.
says a lot. It says
And I
a
saw
lot.
you stressed out. I saw you not be as peaceful as, because look, as we get older, right?
Yeah.
All we want is peace, man.
Yeah,
we want
that's all it
just-
is.
No drama, no more. Just find a good look. Surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah. And like Charlie plays with Bernardo sus compadres too.
Nice.
Yeah, so he plays.
Oye, ¿de
with-
veras tiene compadres Bernardo? But I've never seen him,
So
bueno,
y Mito,
Ustedes son los sobrinos.
so Mito has played with los Garcia brothers.
Wow.
He's played with
Really?
Bernardo y sus compadres and other artists, man. So these guys, I mean,
They're welcome.
they're younger.
You're welcome.
They're younger than me and Amaro, but they've been around already. They've been around the block.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys sounded awesome, man, at the last.
Oh, ahí en la Cantarranas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fun fact, Classic Cats, we're gonna play there. So we play. Fuck you. Did I say fuck you already? So we're gonna play, Billy Joe. We're gonna play all that other shit. So I don't know if how they're gonna accept us.
Catalina wine mix.
It's the goddamn Catalina wine mix.
You're gonna play 80s or
Yeah, we're gonna play 80s.
How many two tones?
Yeah, Jenny, yeah, 867. Well, in fact,
675.
in fact, if you're gonna go, we'll play that one. Yeah, we actually. That's what I'm telling you, man. I start playing and I forget that I'm supposed to keep
So
the.
you're actually gonna play drum, bro?
Yeah, what else am I gonna play?
He's gonna show up with the drums.
Well, I'm gonna show him my drumsticks. We're gonna show him my
He's got
drumsticks.
payback.
When is
When are you
that?
going?
The 12th, April.
His,
I mean, June
his
12th.
drums are auto-tuned.
What?
June 12th, we're gonna
June
play
12th.
that.
Oh, después el Thursday.
So Thursday.
We're gonna be there.
También?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, pues, that's now.
we talked about
Yeah.
that. Es más, yeah. So we're gonna ask, now that we're talking here, we're gonna ask to go towards the end because we have that podcast. So as soon as we're done here, we're gonna take off over there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the schedule later on off camera. But yeah, actually, you guys are gonna be there. That's right. And if you want to hear that, we'll
They
play that
gotta
song.
get home and take their lighter.
We'll try to also air it out on maybe Tejano Express or something.
Yeah.
But we're
There you go.
gonna do something. We're gonna
Yeah,
film
it's
it.
gonna sound like this. Hey, Chick,
So just so you know, TJ's drums are auto-tuned. His drums are
Va a
auto-tuned.
ser el ballet, ¿no?
It's gonna be a slow ballad.
Y con rim shot, güey, porque ya la arthritis no te deja de pegar así.
Oye, pero when you hear the cymbal, it's gonna be falling over, dude. Trying to hold on to something.
I am the tyrant.
Again, fuck you. But all right, so what's next for Conjunto Dreams? What are y'all going with this? What do you want to do? What's the goal?
Because the idea is to take it as far as the people, want us to, man. At the end of the day, like you just said it earlier, we've been around for, we play with other great artists and stuff like that, and the idea is record y, pues salir de Laredo.
Little bit,
Salir de
right?
Laredo, tratar de conquistar otras tierras,
Absolutely.
Corpo, San Antonio, you don't have to go that far for Conjunto. I mean, they love their Conjunto El Valle.
El Valle, especially
They love their Conjunto music. Dallas, there's a lot of spots. Yeah, Houston, there's a lot of spots. Que they love. They don't like Conjunto. They love Conjunto, and pues hopefully we get to go there porque ahí parece que no, pero pues ahí.
It's
la mera-
funny you mentioned that because you had like the handle, the genre itself, it disappeared. I mean, it's not that it dwindled down, it literally like disappeared.
Yeah.
But Conjunto's always.
Well, no, and we talk about that. I mean, yo hablando de mí, I mean, I like Tejano. I played it for many years. Amaro did too. Pero I don't know what it is about Tejano that's they've been in a rut for a while. I mean,
Yeah, it's coming back.
yeah, no, and it is
It's
gonna
making
make
a
a comeback. Don't I mean,
Just
it's
a
gonna come
cycle.
back. What I see about it is that the old artists aren't helping the newer artists.
That's a
The
very good point.
DJs,
Yeah, they're done.
the DJs help out the new artists a lot, pero it's the old artists, man. They don't wanna, como que no quieren dejar ir la rienda.
And we were talking about that earlier about bowing out when at the right time before your voice, because there's gonna be a time, that Ram, all these guys that they can still sing, but they cannot sing the way they used to.
Right.
And then you gotta accept the fact that, especially as a vocalist, it's gonna go away eventually. It's gonna go away. And as a player, maybe not. It might slow down a little bit, whatever. But the voice, that's gonna go. So let the new guys, the new generation take over. There's nothing wrong with it. You took over the old farts when you were young.
And the envidia, man, it exists.
Oh,
everywhere,
yeah.
in total genres, but one thing that I've learned in this little time that I've been doing Conjunto, man, is that Conjunto is more like un poquito más cerrada la onda, they're like, como a fine example is like, Fish, sus favoritos,
Yeah.
que era bass player de Bernardo, saludos a Fish también, him and pues Bernardo himself, Bernie, su hijo, que es el drummer de Bernardo, they heard Conjunto Dream play, and they actually came up to us and told us, man, you guys do an awesome job.
That's a lot. Right
Yeah,
there,
bro.
what else do you
Te
want?
están dando una estampa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stamp
Approval.
of approval.
Approval.
I mean, grandísima. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if Mito, but I think he agreed with de que for us, I mean, it's like,
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing, bro.
It
You
is.
know, it's a blessing.
It just don't never.
Look at Rico all serious inside. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I mean, brush up your skills. Man. I don't know what you're talking about. You
No,
got
but
me a lot of
the thing is that Mito has played with them too, man.
Yeah.
So he knows who they are, and they know him, and they know Charlie. Charlie still plays with them now.
Yeah.
No, igual que Charlie, you play bajo and bass
What?
con Bernardo.
Yeah.
No, igual I was back in 08 on accordion. Y luego sometime from there on, ya llegaban accordion or bass.
Oh, Mito helps out también Tony Tigre, bro.
Oh, cool.
wow.
Tony's doing,
He plays with-
Yeah, and accordion, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tony's
saludo
Tony's
para
doing real
Un
good.
saludo para Tony Tigre y todos los cuates.
Yeah.
Todos los conjuntos de aquí en Laredo.
Siempre,
Oh, yeah.
we had Ricky Reese and los campeones here.
Oh,
down here.
Ah, Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky?
Camarada.
Ricky is awesome, man. Ricky is
Yeah.
awesome.
He's humble, man. It's camarada.
No, he's down to earth, and that's what I'm telling you. We've been blessed, like Ojo said, we've been blessed with very good guests, like you guys, and that's what everybody here's tired, man. We've been working all day. You know, Bojo was saying that a while ago. He's tired. The other one that's not tired is him because he sleeps.
I take my nap
he
about
sleeps
4 hours.
27 hours a day. That's how much he sleeps.
Is he a golden doodle?
But no, what I'm saying is that guests like you and podcasts like you keep us wanting to come back and do one more week. Yeah, no vamos. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I think you guys have a good thing going. Let's just stay focused on the price, which you may not know what that is yet, but you'll find it. I mean, whether it's recording, whether it's just performing, doesn't matter. Creating new music, doesn't matter.
Y hablando de Ricky Reed, we're gonna be in Whispers el 13.
Are you?
El 12, ahí en
Cantarán.
ahí y luego 13 en Whispers.
Nice.
Okay, I'll get that information from you.
Yeah, we're
So I can-
It's our anniversary party.
It's an anniversary.
Oh, okay.
party.
Ahí con Mike.
Michael, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
For now, va a estar.
Right, cake, right, cake, man?
Sí va a haber.
Mito
Sí
takes
va a
the
haber
cake.
cake.
That's all I needed to know.
If anybody else wants to take a cake, se enoja Mito. Don't take a cake.
Oye, last week iba a cancelar el cake y se enojó.
Oye, pues,
Está bueno, güey. No,
me
no,
dicen,
no.
me dicen, vamos a hacer el party, va a haber cake,
Sí.
que siempre no, ay, ¿qué onda con eso?
Sí, ¿qué pasa en los padrinos? Sí, bueno, sí.
Boy, that cake's good, bro. Oh, man, that cake.
What do you do about Whataburger cake?
I
Well,
guess.
well, we played in Casablanca para los awards de South Texas Association.
Right.
And
Para Alvin.
para Alvin and all of the guys that are involved in that, man, they support Conjunto big time.
Oh, yeah.
Saludos a ellos, Jerry González, de los Bad Boys también, Mike Chapa, todos ellos. And Mito llega con 2 cakes.
I bought that big.
Abajo de la mesa, bro.
Ando así nomás, ando como dándole vueltas.
Like a roll
Yo le digo, Mito, que no lo vas a partir. Dice, we're gonna go up and play. I'm like, okay,
Apenas iba a agarrar un pedazo y ya se le estaban subiendo las tortillas.
no, y luego ya finally, ya lo va a partir, hombre, pues ya volar, me pongo en línea, ¿no? Hay gente que ya sabe, yo soy de la banda.
Puso el HB.
Puso el tendajo del Mito con las t-shirts y gorras y...
You have to understand we grew up poor, so you say, aquí a Canal decían Thanksgiving just around the corner, corría para la esquina. You have to understand. man.
Oye, no, está el bollo, está en la mera esquinita así, comiendo que...
Don't judge me, don't judge me.
shit out of you.
Una bola, güey, no se me arrime, güey.
Ven, bueno, vamos a tomar un picture, vamos a los napkins.
Ah, sí, para recordar.
Oh, yeah.
He's all witness now.
Oye, un cake así con Diet Coke.
Dice a mí, oye, un picture, güey, con el cake. Deja el cake ahí.
No quiero.
Which begs the question. Which begs the question, how's your diabetes, man?
It's good. Todavía no se me suben las hormigas.
It's timing.
You'd be
It's
surprised.
well,
Hey, you should know, man, en cardio está perro en la batería.
No, he wouldn't know.
I know.
You can probably remember.
Puro celo de Jesus Christ Superstar.
You've seen other people in action.
Digo, Mito, man, it's the least you can do, bro, is give me cake, güey. You know that? Hey, no, but let me tell you why, bro. Because este batito, we play, si es una hora, nomás descanso como 5 minutes en una hora, dude. Like, I play straight through and through, man.
You're
Non-stop. Non-stop. Y dale
Oye,
a la otra.
oye, y se acaba la rola y he's like, in un break. Cumbia.
No, finding que calabra la gente. Dale la cumbia, la cumbia.
Apenas acá, oye, ya empieza la onda.
No,
El cardio está pesado hasta el conjunto for us.
yeah, it's constant. Yeah.
That's good.
Estaba bien puesto a tocar 2 minutes y luego 5 minutes out y luego 2 minutes.
En lo que hablaban y ahora estás ganando sí.
El dueño del Gran Marquis. Serenata Nortuna.
So Tornado Gamboa just
Yeah.
give us a couple of.
Gracias.
Que no puedo ir,
Nomás dile que es Click al Tornado.
Si estás tuned in al podcast, eres
They call it podcast.
I like it. I like it. No, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, I wish you guys the best. We'll be calling you guys when we do come up with a date for the telethon.
Yeah, whatever you guys need, let us know, man.
And also, guys, don't forget, when you get your music, your products complete, bring it in, showcase it.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Give us the honors of being the first ones. We're doing that.
Yeah, we gotta do it. Well, we don't have to, but we want to do a shout out para los de Caja Raúl.
Para los amigos de Casa Raúl.
They sponsor us.
They
You
can
know,
sponsor
nice.
us.
So can they sponsor us?
Can they adopt 3 more?
Well, actually, they sponsor them. Y luego cuando miran la shirt mía, they're like, a ti te puedo dar un 20%. Está bueno, bro.
Do you know where Laredo Tractor Supply is?
Digo, está bueno como que a ni me gustan tus shirts.
¿Qué size es? A la madre. O el Tornado dice que he's enjoying some German chocolate cake.
Oye,
Ojalá se te acabe el
Ojalá que te dé chorro por 2 semanas.
Está en la casa riéndose solo, tráete la coca.
Se le van a subir las hormigas.
So,
But yeah.
guys.
La German tornillo.
So, si viene Tornado, you might have us here again. That's Tornado, I'm just messing
Next
with
time you guys come by, we'll have cake.
Yeah, you know what? We'll have cake just for you.
Yeah.
you. Like that shit down to the phone.
Put it in the contract.
What was the date
We'll pay
again?
you with cake.
So no, I'm excited. The guys, we're excited for the 12th to I mean, just to get an opportunity to play
Yeah.
at the country club in Laredo. It's
Shout out to
awesome.
Choche.
Oh, yeah,
Choche. Anda en Florida. He's in Florida right now. Hey.
No puede.
No puede.
No puede.
Taking one for the team.
Saludos a Choche, Jaime González.
Jaime, yeah, the
that's
brothers.
it.
No,
Those guys are
dude,
great.
that we were very impressed. I know you couldn't
Yeah,
make
those
it,
guys are
but
like Johnny on the spot.
yeah, we got there a la volada. They moved stuff. They were cleaning stuff out. They were cleaning the Olympic-sized pool. They have over there in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those guys are serious.
I think one of the brothers was pissing inside the pool. but no, it was I had heard of it, but I had never seen it. I'd never been there. It was a good opportunity for us.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was telling TJ, I felt like I was like at the Jalapeno Festival.
Yeah,
We
with
should
people
bring it
coming
for
in and
something
out.
like
Well,
that.
the thing is that this is un hangout que ya tiene años, man.
I
And
never-
it's been growing. you know, through
Again,
the
one of
years.
those secrets that Laredo
Exactly.
has that we've been exposed.
So
I've
nosotros
been there
como,
for years. Yeah, I didn't even know about
nosotros como conjunto G apenas empezamos a ir y que nos echaron el invite.
Yeah.
Because Mito had talked to Choche and cáigale.
Man, we love it there, man.
I'm gonna tell you what, and for this is from looking up from the outside in. When you guys were playing, everything else stopped. They were all tuned in. They were focused, and they were just looking.
Yeah, they
That-
appreciate the live
it
music,
was
man.
crazy,
That's what it's
That
about.
day we were inside,
Yeah.
but on the 12th they're gonna put it outside on the.
On the outside, right?
On the outside. So, yeah.
I'm gonna take
So-
out the helmet. No, es que, let me tell you the story, güey. El techito tiene
Yo creía que
beans.
se había hecho unos drinks, ¿no?
Oye, tiene unos beans, güey.
And the funeral over there.
Me lo levanté 3 times. Ya para la third time ya traía un quedo.
Acabamos de tocar, yo pensé que ya llevaba un 6
He doesn't drink.
Oye, le pidió un hard hat a Vito de Dream.
Toda la cabeza
And by the
parecía
way, that's our next single, El Casco.
Ya va a decir, conjunto Dream Safety First.
safety first.
No shop, bro.
0 accidents for 30 days. 30 days.
For 3 songs, 0 accidents for 3 songs.
30 days accident free.
So no. So we're really looking forward to it. I hope. I mean, we'll finally get out there and
Yep.
no. I mean, like I said, we were practicing here on Tuesday, and the guys, you know, because they were asking these guys haven't been out there. These guys used to play with the Dolly Ranchers and a bunch of
Oh, cool.
those type of
Yeah.
So all those guys, like I said, I'm the youngest one. All those guys that over 400 or 500 years of experience.
With Richie
Manuel
Alvarado.
Alvarado, Chris Moore, el hijo de Viola Moore, the one that. used
Oh,
to
I
do-
know Chris, yeah.
Chris.
Miss
Puro
Moore,
Nixon,
Nixon.
no?
Put on Nixon Mustang.
Hit the Mustang.
We
Hit the
got-
horse.
We got Parra plays a lot of
Parrita.
a lot of
Apolonio.
and the Apolonio.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's our lead guitarist. Y luego por Mario Alvarado doing the singing. I'll jump into singing once in a while. We switch because Mario also plays drums.
Yeah, no man.
And then Art has been a sound engineer forever for Gather Communication. He plays bass. So it's funny because you know, like I said, everybody's older, and sometimes it's like, oh, okay, somebody needs to take a nap, and we gotta change diapers.
It's in short time.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a short. Yeah, but you know what, guys? To me, it's a privilege to work with those guys because it's actually
Because it makes you feel young.
yeah, it does.
That's the privilege.
But that's a privilege that I can talk shit. There's a fire. I'm the first one out. But my point is that you know I'm learning a lot from those guys, especially coming from mariachi music to this, totally different. And then I had never played drums in that genre, so I'm learning. Like right now, we're trying to pick up. We're trying to pick up Maná songs. If you ever see Maná, the drummers, holy shit!
Yeah.
I mean, those are not easy songs at all.
El Vampiro.
Yeah.
No,
So.
bueno, el drummer es el animal, Alex.
Alex. So yeah, so
I just saw him in
it's
San Antonio last year. It's pretty cool. Real drummers.
Real drummer.
Debemos despedir.
puro batallar, puro batallar.
Damn, TJ, where you get these guys?
I don't know. Empezó muy bien.
Es lo que hay.
You wanna work?
Biggest fan. He's the biggest fan. Imagine the worst one.
No, hombre, puro batallar. Jesus.
Baby's first.
The
drum
thing is,
set.
I've known this guy since '85.
Yeah.
Correct.
How did you guys meet?
In high school.
Oh, you were in Nixon.
Yeah, we were all Nixon.
Obviously, 'cause you were rolling.
So
Actually,
that's.
before that.
Oh no! Check out. Look, he likes to say this story. This story is pretty cool. We actually hated each other.
We still do.
No, we still do. We still do. But now tell the story. Tell the story. No, tell it.
No, you tell it.
I don't remember.
That's
You
the
don't
right
know. You
answer.
tell it. Tell it.
So this guy,
Tell it, man. Sorry, you're gonna tell it that.
local Catholic church here in town. And I used to help out with the little usher boys and stuff like that. And homie over here was him and his dad were the rondalla, the in-house.
Oh, yeah.
The in-house rondalla. They
Ah,
sat
sí,
in the
me shook my head.
front. They sat at the
Yeah?
front. the very
Who's
front
Mr.
bench.
Denano?
Yo, pues he was my teacher, bro.
So they sat at the very front, the first bench, right?
Willy Wonka.
And this guy and I, like, we look at each other, like Kill Bill, that sound, like, we look at each other. This guy's like, I wanted to give you the guitar right.
I wanted to break it, dude.
like-
There's something about it. It was the way he was shaking the priest's bells.
And I was like, I wanted to throw the bells at
Yeah,
you.
he wanted to throw. I mean, it was ugly. I mean, we didn't even know why we hate each other.
Es que no estaban afinados.
No, is that bad?
Oye, pero estaba el canal así nomás.
No, sí, güey. Ah, sí.
Maybe he didn't ring it 3 times.
No, it was 2.5, pero at my So that was when we were like middle school. And then we ended up at Nixon together. And
Fate.
Yeah, and then we were in ROTC.
Fate.
Okay, let's.
So yeah, we saw her run into school.
Big bunch
budget
of good.
in ROTC. And I don't know what competition.
Oh my God.
So he
You gotta
was
tell the story.
He was a drill team commander. I was in the color guard, and it just so happened that whatever, I don't know, we borrowed something from each other, and he's like, "No, pues I got it." But again, we do the Kill Bill look like from one side of the school bus to the other, like, "Oh, you can borrow this." And he comes over like, okay, like, "Are you sure?" Like, yeah, like, "Are you sure?" And everybody's, "Hey, come on, like, what's going on?" Like, it was a meme, like, I don't know what it was, like wax for the boots, or I don't know what.
I don't know.
We had a competition.
I do know that one time he couldn't. He was in the so he would dress up. The color guard was dressed like the cavalry,
Yeah.
the army cavalry, right,
Yeah.
with the blue. And he couldn't do it, so I stood in. Of course,
Literally.
yeah, I stood in. So I put on his pants, which were like 2 sizes smaller than for me.
Right.
And I
Like I've been voluptuous.
I had 5 kids, and because of him, I would have had 7, but I lost 7. That's how tight those fucking things
That's
were.
how you came out of the football.
No, it was ugly. It was ugly.
Oh my goodness, Selena's on the field.
It was ugly. It was ugly.
Saying, "One pro."
Pantalones prohibido. It's like I lost a testicle, now I have 2. Now I have 2, but it was bad.
It was bad. It was
It was
bad.
bad. Yeah, listen.
But that's how we learned.
Yeah, that's all. And
And then
then
after that,
Yeah.
I became his best man when he got married, and he was my best man.
so we go. That's why we notice a lot of people have told us that we just the chemistry is bullshit. We've known each other forever, and so sometimes he'll say something, and I'm already thinking something else, and we finish each other. And of course, Fred comes in with his English. Well, you know.
English.
Yes.
He's done with this
Yes.
show, with this episode.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
gonna practice something new for next episode.
German.
Have you ever
Regardless.
been to Carrasco?
Regardless. George Lopez.
Regardless.
But no, but that's the story of Bojo and I. We're sticking to it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. Look, we've had a lot of fun podcasts. Usually when you guys like you come up, it's a blast for us.
Yep.
But
And we do film before live audience.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So
Today we
even,
have-
even if you're not on as a guest, you want to come hang out and watch.
Whenever,
the rest of
guys,
the guests,
whenever.
Feel free to stop by. That's where we have all the chairs there.
Whenever you guys are welcome, this is your home. And again, anything new coming up, let us know.
Yeah, no.
Let us know. You can promote it. Whatever, dude.
Doors are always open. The only one that we lock the door for is a certain Lucio Santana. We're not,
Oh, yeah, fuck that guy.
We're not gonna talk about
Yeah,
it.
Lucio, thanks for showing up. So Lucio is a manager for wrestlers, and he's gay. So,
Very.
He thinks he's
Very gay.
not scared to wrestling.
yeah. He's like 5'2", like 10 pounds away.
Yeah, Bucks can win.
So let me tell a quick story. Now that I said that with the pants. So the first time that I did mariachi, right, was with the Cantu family, mariachi, Azteca back, and back in the day. And first time I told Javier, Guitarron, I'm like, dude, what do you do to get the girls to look at you while you're, they're like, hey, pues una papa en el pantalón. I'm like, fuck yeah. So I put it on, right? And I'm singing, they're like, pointing and laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? So I told Javier, you said, if I put a papa in my pantalón, the girls will look at me. He turns me around, he goes, pero enfrente, pendejo. You know what?
You don't have to put up with
Fuck
it.
all of you.
Just to end the show.
Conjunto fucking dream.
Nightmare.
No.
You guys play like a nightmare.
Speaking of River Bottom Nightmare, fun fact.
If you don't know,
River Bottom's Christmas special.
I feel sorry for your childhood if you don't know who that is. Especially if you saw the porno version of that. What that mom had to do for children.
Alright, stop you. I always felt sad he had to sell his little toolbox
What the hell are you talking about?
to get the present.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Alright guys, anyway.
But that's why I got into rock with the River Bottom Nightmare band.
What song? Look, watch. What song was it?
I don't know, but it said it's a River Bottom Nightmare.
No, the song. Yeah, but do you remember what song they were playing? It was a song originally.
Frankenstein?
No.
Alice Cooper's Frankenstein background.
No. Remember, actually, Aerosmith did.
Remember?
I don't recall.
You know
All I
what I'm
remember is something that we don't brush our teeth and with our cavities. River Bottom Nightmare Band.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
I remember. I just saw that on YouTube, dude. I was looking for it.
Why is that stuff still around?
I don't know. It's
Isn't
scary.
that cool?
It is.
It's like Cepillín.
But that's like got turned on to rock. Right?
Well, I don't even know that. I don't know the Fifth Amendment, but I know that.
You don't even know where you left your keys.
That's true. Who are you? Where am I? Topollillo, that was the most freaking creepiest fucking sexual harasser
Yeah,
everywhere.
think about it, Topollillo had the original cook cut, man.
That guy owned it.
That's where the kids got the cup. Pinche pervert. That guy was a French pervert.
Who was it?
Topollillo?
The little round mouse.
Yeah, no. Again, we can sit and talk about this all day. But guys, thank you so much, guys. We wish you the best. I know you guys are gonna go places. We will see you in a couple of weeks at the Cantaranas. And anything else, guys, before we close it off?
Just thank you for having us over here at your podcast, which is awesome. And whenever you guys need us for anything, let us know, man. We're
Appreciate it.
available.
Like I said, we are going to bother you. If we get that thing going with the telethon, we are going to bother
Yeah.
you for it.
Yes.
We would love to have you on. And, it's about, like you said, networking and helping each other. Man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a live performance?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. We want to do 24-hour broadcast.
Non-stop.
We better
Non-stop.
practice.
Yeah. No, everything's going to be, así como lo hacía Jerry Lewis back in the day.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be live. I'm working with bigger people. Hopefully they'll support us.
Quick
If not,
bakery, pan pan dulce. ¿no?
Yeah.
the Rodman, Gabriel Rodman come out and
to bring him back for that one podcast with Olo Radio.
we're trying to bring all those guys back in. So if you know of anybody that's still around or some of these businesses that are still around,
You might want to show up that night as an audience.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot.
You're selling me.
No, these guys are laughing, bro,
We're at
because
Cantaranas, the last time ya went, o tenía pan dulce.
Oh.
Ahí viene mi camarada, se sienta con una concha. Pues, oye, vato, ¿qué tienes, bro? ¿Qué onda? Chingo de coke. Insane casi con todos los pinches.
you know I've always been a messy eater para comer pan de dulce.
No, levanta tu morrero, no.
Toda la barra, toda la noche con la concha.
It's a funny thing.
Empezamos a tocar como un pedazo de coche y no le dije nada.
Con la concha cross ahí en el snare.
It's funny.
Are you off? Are you off? No,
Le pegaste mal, bro.
These guys
Estás
me hacen
tiempo,
burla.
bro.
Me hacen burla and then at work, los camaradas del jale, the same thing. Hey, bro, no sabes comer conchas. No, no. Sí, no. Es que te pones a Dunkin' en la leche.
Conchas or ice
Eres
cream.
hija.
he turns into Pepe Le Pew
It's
with the-
conchas or ice cream. Never give this guy an ice cream. Unless you want to leave with the best.
No, ice cream, bro.
Todos los drumsticks pedos, tío. Thanks for having us over, man. I really appreciate you guys are doing a great job on
Thank
the
you guys.
podcast.
We appreciate that. And like I said, anything new, let us know, and we'll be talking
Yeah.
to you about that telethon, and then we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Okay, so before we go, so last week I talked about what women shouldn't
Right.
do with men. We talked about as far as pressure stuff. So now let me talk to the males real quick. Look, this is just TJ talking, nobody else. But here's the deal. Women are like light switches. When they're onto a man, they're onto a man 100%. They're gonna love, they're gonna nurture, they're gonna take care of you. And whenever that woman tells you, hey, pay attention to me, because you're working too much or whatever, put your shit down, put your water burger down, whatever, and pay attention, all right? Because once that light switch is turned off, it's all good. I don't care. You can come back with a Mercedes, you can come back with jewelry. They're gonna take it because they're not dumb, but they're not gonna come back to you. It's over. We men have dimmers. Sometimes we're very excited about stuff. Sometimes we lose interest for whatever reason. So we're not done counseling before. That's the way I explain the differences between the approach to a relationship. So again, last week I told you guys, I was talking to the females about being careful not to put undue pressure on the man. The man is trying to work his ass off for you, take care of you and the kids and the house. Now I'm talking to the guys. Pay attention to the woman. If she tells you it's time for you to give me a date a date night, whatever. I don't care whatever it is, pay attention. Because once she's off, guys, she's off. And you're done. And no more, there's no coming back. I promise you that, there's no. And if she does come back, it's gonna be out of pity or out of whatever, but it's not gonna be, but it's not gonna be real. So you don't wanna get to that level. If you have a good woman or a good partner in your life, take care of them, all right? That's all we have, guys, that's all we have. We don't have anything else. And like I said earlier, we're all getting older, and you know, the one thing that I've learned as we've gotten more white hair is, except for those of you that color your hair, the one thing I've learned is that peace is golden, man. Just now I understand why on the stone it says R.I.P. Rest in peace, right? Because that's what you want. Just you don't want drama. You don't want anything negative. You want to try to surround yourself with the right people, and so that's all we can ask for. You got any final words?
No, ladies and gentlemen, just follow us. We've got more coming up in the next following episodes, and also don't forget the morning show every single day from Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, Tejano Express Radio with yours truly. And appreciate you, and the doors are always open here, guys, for y'all. Okay.
Where the fuck does that English come from?
I think it's pre-recorded.
Nixon High School.
No, where did you go?
Nixon High School.
La Nixon.
La Nixon,
Puro Nixon, what year?
82.
Ooh, I was 12 years old.
That was pre-recorded.
Yeah, that was pre-recorded.
I just want to say, Laredo, take care of each other. And again, this is your platform. I keep saying that, but with that said, if you have any ideas, anything you guys want to see here also, let us know. Leave your thoughts in the comment box, and we'll try to, adjust what we have to do to make sure we try to comply with some of your all's requests. But the main thing is to use this platform wisely. We joke around a lot because we love to have fun.
Right.
After we've gone through a lot of stuff in life, and we're just here to have fun. That's what this podcast is. But so use it wisely, Lorena. And again, take care of each other. And your DJ by mistake, by accident, says good night. Thank you, and God bless you guys.
So, real quick, guys. So again, the purpose of this podcast is not to insult anybody or punkcast, or to hurt anybody's feelings. Like I said, if you get offended by what other people say, then you're not thinking. You're not using your brain, or you're using your emotion, and your emotion will always put you in the wrong path. Use your brain. God gave us a brain, use it. Understand that if I say a joke, like the one I said a little while ago, it's not about you.
No.
I don't even know who the fuck you are. It's not about you, trust me. It's just a joke. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, again, I want to thank Joe, who's still here. We appreciate him being here. Ruben took off a little while ago. You're probably gonna go over there and write a new song for the world to enjoy.
Invent a new instrument.
Right. So come up with a new instrument. And of course, you guys that stuck around this long, we appreciate it. And this is your home, guys. This is your home. Let's do this again. This was awesome. This is one of the, again, we always say, we had an awesome podcast, and then here comes another week, and it gets better and better and better. So
We're just blessed with that.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for making it happen.
all right, guys, signing out for session 11.
All right, it's done.